Cumberland on a steamy September evening. It's time for high school football. This week, the WJMC Game of the Week here at Moser Field for the Heart of the North Conference opener between the Beavers of Cumberland and the Northwestern Tigers of Maple. Two teams that have a combined record of 1 win and 3 losses in the first 2 weeks of the season. Cumberland having dropped games to Manitowoc Lutheran in their home opening game at Mosinee, and then in their home opener last week falling to St. Croix Falls. Maple Northwestern won their opener in their opening game, a victory over Ashland, but then losing last week at Ironwood in Michigan in a game that they led until the last seconds of the game, and I'm sure they feel they should have won. Tonight's game should be a battle of numbers, not just the numbers on the scoreboard, but the numbers on the field. And here to help us again with the broadcast this evening is Bob Lee. Good evening to you, Bob. And the Beavers and the Tigers both out there warming up, a study in contrast not only in the colors of the uniforms, red over gray for Cumberland and white over gold for Maple, but a study in contrasting numbers as well.
Study in numbers there. You can see, Cumberland comes in with 25 guys on a team. Maple Northwestern coming down with 2 bus loads and over 55 kids out for football. When you can dress that many people, run them both offense and defense, with different players, you don't have to worry about running out of gas at the end of a ball game. When you're playing both directions and you're playing against a team that has enough players to play both sides, I said you're going to be downright tired by the end of the ball game when it rolls around.
The Beavers and the Tigers have met, of course, annually in the Heart of the North Conference play. Northwestern has had the better of it in recent years. Cumberland coming off a 3-3 conference season last year, not too shabby, and 4-5 overall. Northwestern was 3-3 in the Heart of the North last year, 6-3 on the season. But the Northwestern Tigers have aims about returning to the prominence they had 3 years ago when they won the State Division III title back in 1988. And they are a team that feels that they can achieve that, but they're going to have to go through the Heart of the North first, and of course we know that isn't going to be easy. And the Cumberland Beavers are not going to roll over and play dead. This is a team that is capable of putting a few points on the board. The question is whether they're capable of stopping anybody, because in their first couple of games, Cumberland has given up 36 points to Manitowoc Lutheran and 27 points to St. Croix Falls. You have the feeling, though, that if Cumberland can stay with them points-wise, and it's a situation, Bob, also where the longer they stay with this outfit, the better Cumberland will be, and Northwestern then will be in a situation where they get a little bit more desperate all the time.
Yeah, when you get frustrated, especially when a team you think you're going to beat, you can't just seem to put them away. They're always there like a pesky little mosquito. They're always going to try to do their best to beat you. But Cumberland put on a good show last year when they played Spooner here. They had an injury to their starting quarterback last year. The starting quarterback this year, Mike Masiska, he's a quality quarterback. You can't count Cumberland out no matter what the size of the numbers are that they're playing up against. And on the other hand, you've got Maple Northwestern winning tradition. The last few years they've been really successful, and a successful program breeds more success. You get a lot more kids coming out that want to play football, and you get the kids out there to play football every year. It just increases, and you get quality coming up there every year.
We'll be back to talk more about tonight's game and take a look at other action around Northwest Wisconsin after this 1-minute break here on WJMC.
If your dairy equipment dealer has left the area and left you holding the bag, then turn to the Udder alternative, the Udder Place in Rice Lake, for service and replacement parts. The Udder Place offers you more than one line of equipment and parts. They carry DeLaval, New Pulse, Bender, Clay, Chorboy, and Sunset lines of equipment, and they service the rest. For emergency service, call 234-7194 or 800-657-5194. The Udder Place, Highway SS south of Rice Lake.
Swamp Motor Company is knocking the bottom out of the 1991 car and truck prices and are passing the savings on to you. This is Scott Colby with an example of the tremendous prices you'll find. Like the 1991 Jeep Comanche 4-wheel drive short box. Was $14,590. With hail damage rebates and dealer discounts, now just $11,800. You save $2,790. Every 1991 car or truck on the lot is marked way down for a quick sale at Swamp Motor Company, your Jeep, Eagle, Pontiac, and GMC truck dealer on South Main, Rice Lake.
And we're back now live at Moser Field in Cumberland as the Beavers take on the Maple Northwestern Tigers. And this is the Heart of the North Conference opener for these two teams and some other games going on tonight involving Heart of the North teams. In Ladysmith, the Ladysmith Loggers taking on the Spooner Rails in a Heart of the North opener. And Spooner, 2-0 on the season. After winning their first two games last week, they pounded Chippewa Falls McDonald 45-12. Barron also has won both of their games in the Heart of the North, and so has Hayward. Barron defeated Bloomer 21-18 in the rain last week, a game that we did in Barron. It was suspended by lightning on Friday night and finished on Saturday night, final 3.5 period. Hayward came through with a 27-16 win over Ashland last week. And next week, Bob, we don't want to look past this game at all, but next week we have the Heart of the North showdown early season style between the Spooner and Barron in Spooner. That ought to be a good one.
That ought to be a good game. Last week, Barron played a real fine game coming out in the second half, basically shutting Bloomer right down. We said before they went into halftime that Barron had to do something defensively to stop Bloomer, because Bloomer was moving the ball fairly well and often wherever they wanted to go. Barron came out, made a good, strong defensive stand that second half. Their offense took over. They basically didn't throw the ball or get too cute with it. Brian Usgard, he basically threw the ball when it had to be thrown, made his passes count when they had to count, and the running game took over from there, and they basically just
we continue with our pregame programming tonight from County.
We'll take another break and be back with more from Moser Field and Cumberland after this 1-minute break on WJMC FM.
Subway makes my bread up fresh, and that's my way. My way. Subway makes my sub the best way, my way. Subway makes my sub in front of me. Just the way it ought to be. It's fresh and hot, I know I got it. My way. Subway, my way. Subway, my way.
Subway, the new Rosestone Plaza, Rice Lake.
Great Pillsbury dough buys from Kirkwood's IGA stores in Barron, Bloomer, Chautauqua, and Colfax. Pillsbury Plus or Love and Light assorted cake mixes, 69 cents for an 18 1/4 to a 19-ounce box. Or Pillsbury Love and Light Blueberry Muffin Mix, only $1.59 for a 15-ounce tube. Regular or unbleached flour, only 89 cents for a 5-pound bag. Or Pillsbury Crescent Dinner Rolls, 8-count package for only $1.29. Kirkwood's IGA stores in Barron, Bloomer, Chautauqua, and Colfax.
And we're back now at Moser Field in Cumberland. Other games involving area teams tonight. The Barron Bears are at home to Cadott. And in games involving Lakeland teams, they're also opening both large and small Lakeland Conference action tonight. In the large Lakeland is Turtle Lake at Bruce, Shell Lake at Clear Lake. In the small Lakeland, it's Northwood at New Auburn and Prairie Farm at Siren. And in non-conference games, Chautauqua at Glenwood City, Flambeau at Lake Holcomb, and Cameron at Frederick. Birchwood Warehouser playing host to Clayton tomorrow afternoon. Now from Cumberland, our national anthem. The national anthem. We'll take one last 90-second break and be back for the start of tonight's game. This is high school football on WJMC.
At Cumberland Memorial Hospital, our medical specialists use their expertise to diagnose and treat patients with skill and caring. And with our state-of-the-art technology, we're fully equipped to meet even the most challenging health problem. So, from cardiology to orthopedics, urology to gynecology, we're here to meet your health care needs. If you'd like to see one of our specialists, call us today for an appointment. Cumberland Hospital, quality care from people who care.
Northwestern State Bank in Cumberland would like to extend a cordial invitation for you to use their many services. Take advantage of the checking and savings accounts, loan plans, safe deposit boxes, and many other services that they offer. Stop in at your convenience. Remember, they're more than bankers. They're your neighbors and your friends. Northwestern State Bank, offices in Cumberland and Alameda, is the answer to all your banking needs. Member FDIC.
And the starting lineups for tonight's game are being introduced. The Maple Northwestern Tigers in white jerseys trimmed in green and black, gold pants, or green and gold, I should say, trimmed gold pants and the gold helmets, and the Beavers in their home red with the gray pants trimmed in black and white. And it looks like we're going to have a pretty respectable crowd. A nice crowd from Maple has come down, and Maple, of course, being the most distant school in the heart of the North, they have to travel far to go about anywhere, Bob, and it's about an hour and a half from there to here.
That's quite a distance. You know, we was talking to the coaches there before game time, and they said they have 6 home games this year. So that's probably going to play a big advantage for Maple this year, just on the sheer fact that you're going to be in front of your home crowd and you won't have to travel that great amount of distance to play a game during the week.
But these people are used to traveling. When you're from that extreme northwestern part of the state, you're going to have to go a fur piece to play anybody, really.
Yeah, you're kind of out there where nobody lives out in there, really. But, you know, they've got that size of a school, they have to travel a little ways to play different sides of school. So that's one disadvantage they have, but, you know, at times it can be to your advantage, too.
Maple is going to run the ball. They run a double wing offense. They have rushed for over 300 yards a game in their first 2 games. They have passed for a total of 35 yards in their first 2 games this season, and that was last week. Matt Schmidt is their big running back. Schmidt will start at one running back. He gained over 400 yards last year, scoring 7 touchdowns, and Schmidt had 71 yards last year's game against Ironwood. Jesse Peterson gained 74 yards on only 6 carries. And we won't see the Tigers passing very much. They start Donovan Mackey at a quarterback. So running a double wing offense is difficult enough under any circumstance, but when you're a high school team, you really have to be on your ball, and these kids I'm sure are. Cumberland is going to try and throw the ball on them. They're going to try and force Northwestern to throw. And Northwestern has that type of an offense where they say, you know what we're going to do. We're going to run at you and see if you can stop us.
That's one thing, you know, basically Cumberland, they're going to have to, force, if they're going to want Maple to pass the ball, they're going to have to shut them down a couple different times. But, a strong running game, they won't give up on a strong running game until they get down so far where they can't score any points to make up a difference. So you're probably going to see Maple Northwestern just basically going to run.
We have a nice crowd from Cumberland on hand. This is the Beavers' second home game, playing St. Croix Falls last week here. Looking down the road for these 2 teams, Cumberland will be out of the conference next week. They go down to Hammond to play St. Croix Central, a very tough team from the Dunn St. Croix Conference, with eyes on getting into the playoffs this year as they were last. And the Schooner Rails will be here in 2 weeks and for another Heart of the North game, and we will be here for the broadcast of that one as well. Next weekend, Maple Northwestern will host Hayward in what looks to be a very good ball game, and then we'll host the Amory Warriors in a non-conference game on the 27th. And looking ahead, the Northwestern schedule is pretty much in their favor. After the Amory non-conference game, the Tigers will have a week off. Or no, correction, they host Washburn in another non-conference. Then on October 11th, the Tigers will host Spooner. Then on October 18th, They will go to Ladysmith, and then Barron comes up to Maple for the season finale. So they get Hayward, Spooner, and Barron all at home this year. Tremendous advantage for the Tigers, but of course they have to take advantage of it when it comes their way.
Yeah, you can take advantage of it that way, but if you get into a slump, which some teams can get into, but a good slump breaker is to be at home and play in front of your own folks and at your own hometown, home cooking and everything. It really helps out a lot.
Especially when you've got the big teams coming in. Well, Cumberland has the home field advantage tonight and has won the toss and elected to receive the football. So Northwestern will be kicking off, going from our left to our right. And the Beavers sending Mike Mystiska deep, along with Jason Horstman. Mystiska will also be the starting quarterback. And doing the kicking for Northwestern, Pepper Kraft. Kraft approaches the ball and has a short kick. It's going to be taken by one of the upmen at the 28-yard line to the 30, cuts back up the middle, 35, hits, still going, and up to about the 40-yard line on the return for Cumberland and Jason Horstman, and the Beavers come out with good field position right off the bat.
I tell you, Chad Lanson made a good run on that play. Maple Northwestern coming out doing a little arm tackling. That's a good way to get yourself in a lot of trouble right off the bat. You don't want to, take a team lightly, and you sure don't want to come out and arm tackle anybody because you can't put people down on the ground with an arm tackle.
1st and 10 Beavers at their own 39-yard line. They send a man in motion. Lining up over on the left side now is Dave Olson, the tight end. Mystiska back to throw. Nice play action. In some trouble. He runs out of it. Evades one man. Still in trouble. Dumps it off to the short man. Dropped by Horstman. Heavy pressure, but good coverage in the Northwestern secondary.
Good coverage, and Mike Mystiska moved out of the pocket, which is, he shows good speed and good range for a quarterback. He's going to get a lot of inside heat, I believe, tonight from the big Northwestern lineman. He's going to have to move, and they're going to have a rolling pocket for him, I think, to be successful tonight.
Mystiska at quarterback. In the backfield for Cumberland, David Reeby and Jason Horstman. Coming wide left for the Beavers is Andy Nurbin. And here's Mystiska keeping luck. Big hole. He's to the 50. He's down to Northwestern's 45, where he's upended on a nice tackle in the open field by the Tigers. Scott Hildebrand, but a really nice run by Mystiska.
Myself, I think they should have had a penalty on that play. They kind of come in with a couple late shots on Mystiska. He made a good run. They threw him to the ground, and a couple guys dove on top of him, but the officials didn't see it. He didn't think it was uncalled for, but I think that kind of play, you don't need to be getting into that sort of a ball game to try to intimidate somebody.
8 of 15. Beavers with the ball 1st and 10 at the Northwestern 45. Here comes the blitz. Mystiska cutting back inside off the right tackle. Has some good yardage again. And he gets down inside the 40 to about the 39-yard line.
I tell you, Mike Mystiska is a very, very slippery quarterback. He sees a crack, he sees a hole, he's going to go for it. Their center made a good block catching a blitzer coming through. Either that or Mike would have really had a face full of the defensive lineman, but he made a good move and got outside and got himself 5 yards.
The Cumberland line, Corey Jacobs at center, Pete LeBlanc and Chris Shire are the guards. Darren White and Rick Chartraw are the tackles. Mystiska looks over the Northwestern defense on 2nd down and 3. A man in motion going over to the right now, and that is Nurbin. Long count. Mystiska, busted play, cuts back into the left, and is pulled down from behind. On the tackle is Rick Doss for Northwestern. Looks like a bit of either an automatic deception play, or else something was just scooped up because everybody was going to the right and he was going to the left.
He was going to the left. Looked like it could have been a naked reverse, but he kind of left himself out there in a wide open spaces to be having somebody take a free shot at you like that.
A loss of a yard on the play brings up 3rd down and 4 for Cumberland. The Beavers sending Ryan Reinberg, who caught a touchdown pass last week against St. Croix Falls. He goes wide right. Jamie Anderson to the left. Mystiska rolls out to his right, cuts back inside, is grabbed from behind and thrown for no gain. As the Tigers spelling out the Cumberland plays now and starting to close in on the tackle, Jason Matson for the Tigers. It will bring up a 4th down and 4, and a decision coming up now for the Beavers and their coach, Mark Fuller. Looks like they're going to go for it.
I tell you, I think Maple was a little bit pumped up when they come out here, got a little bit of aggressive, coming inside, shooting the gaps. I don't think they were reading their keys in front of them a little bit too much, and basically that's why Cumberland was getting a few yards on them.
Rydberg goes wide to the right. It's 4th and 4 for the Beavers at the Northwestern 40-yard line. In motion to the right is Anderson. Tigers blitzing. Beavers pick it up. Masiska to throw. He looks, he's got an opening now. He's going to run for it. He cuts back along the left. Then he runs into a mass of Northwestern tacklers at the line of scrimmage. And again, Northwestern with good pass defense. And Masiska stopped for no gain. The Beavers turn it over on down.
I tell you, Maple, their linebackers drop back just far enough to cover the inside people coming down. You can't, you're not going to complete many short passes when the linebackers don't bite on the downward, the downfield play. You're going to have a lot of trouble that way tonight, especially if they do something like that.
Northwestern comes out with Donovan Mackey at quarterback and a double wing running attack. And there's the pitch to the deep man. Jesse Peterson comes around the left, cuts up the field. He's got a yardage across the 45 to about the 47-yard line.
Basic off-tackle play, beautifully outside blocked. They sealed down well. The outside wing brought it inside. It's just basic outside pitch, and got a good 4 or 5 yards on that play.
Mackey is the quarterback. The running backs Peterson, Pepper, Kraft, and Matt Schmidt. Going wide to the left now for Northwestern is Scott Hildebrandt. It's a gain of 7 by Peterson on the first play from scrimmage. He is the deep back right now. And in motion to the right, there's the pitch to Peterson again, running behind a blocker, cuts back up inside across midfield into Cumberland territory and down at the 40 for a Northwestern first down.
Exact same play that they ran to the left, they run to the right. I think you're going to see that play a lot until Cumberland can stop it. They're sealing it down well to the outside, and basically Maple is just taking advantage of it. Beautifully outside run trap.
And that was a gain of 12 yards on the play for Peterson. And the Tigers bring him out again. The double wing means that they will put one man split out wide right. That's Adam Hurlevy right now. And now there's a man in motion to the left. There's the handoff to the first man through. Up the middle is Pepper Kraft to about the 35-yard line. A double wing is not a very common type of an offense. It involves a lot of deception in the backfield, and that there's always going to be a man in motion, and you don't know whether they're going to go in the direction of the motion man or go straight up the middle as they did that time, or even quarterback could fake and bootleg to the right to the other side.
It's a offense that the quarterback has got to be well aware of what's going on around him. It's not something you can stick just anybody in the backfield because he has so many options that he can read while he's back there.
Hildebrandt wide left. In motion to the other side, here comes Peterson taking the pitch. Peterson around the corner. Peterson is tackled from behind, but it looks like he may have gotten enough for the first down. Anderson on the tackle for Cumberland.
On that outside play, they did not seal down. Jamie Anderson broke through the block, came in, made a nice tackle, and busted up the play. They didn't quite get the first down. It could be, third down and 1. It's going to be a, hard, long 1 yard here.
Gain of 4 on the play for Kraft. And the Beaver defense. Nick Malazzi is the center for Maple. Adam Mackey and Jamie Dumanson are the guards. Kelly Chakowski and Corbin Eastman the tackles. Officials timeout. Chad Trebilcock is the tight end. They don't throw the ball a lot. They've thrown only about 35 yards worth of passes in their first 2 games. Clock restart, 6:34 and counting. First period, no score. Northwestern on the march. Third down and a yard now at the 31-yard line. Here is Mackey handing off to the first man through. First down for Matt Schmidt, who gets across the 30 to the 25, maybe the 24-yard line of Cumberland. First down, number 2 for Northwestern on the drive.
Cumberland is going to see so many different fronts tonight. It's not going to be funny. They've got 4 different backs that they can hand the ball off to. And the quarterback basically is taking a read, seeing which hole is opening up first. If he wants to hand it to the up man, he'll hand it to the up man. If it doesn't look like there's going to be anything there, he'll pitch it. If he doesn't think it's going to work the pitch, he'll hold on to the ball and just take off tackle himself. So it's a lot of options for him to look at.
Here is Mackey bringing him out again. It's a gain of 6, first and 10 at the 25. The pitch right side, Peterson. Here he stopped in the backfield on a nice defensive play. Jamie Anderson leading the charge for the Beavers. And Peterson is dropped for a loss of a yard or 2 on the play.
Very well defense that time. They strung him out. Didn't let him get too much in front of him. Didn't let him seal him back down into the middle. You have to have a good seal down block to get to the outside. And, Cumberland strung it out well that time. Stayed at home. The players stayed at home, played their own area, and, took care of them that time.
It's a loss of a yard on the play. Second down and 11 now for Northwestern. Peterson in motion. Looked like the right guard moved. No whistle, but the fullback gets the call up the middle. He is stopped as he's met head-on On the stop for Cumberland is Jason Horstman. And Kraft on the carry gets back to the original line of scrimmage and maybe a little bit further to the 24-yard line, let's say.
I'll tell you, when you see this type of a running team, you're not going to see the defensive backs. They're going to be playing up tight to the line. They're almost going to be considered a linebacker because you're going to have your down lineman, right nose up on each one of the, guard, center, tackle. They're going to be playing right nose up on somebody, and the linebackers are going to play so close. It's just like you're going to have almost like an 8-man front.
3rd down and 9 now for the Tigers. In motion to the left, Peterson takes the handoff, cuts up the middle, looks for the first down, but he's not going to get it. He gets inside the 20 down to about the 19-yard line before the Beavers close in with Muzzin LeBlanc on the stop.
I tell you, Cumberland is, they changed up their defense a little bit. They were playing back. The linebackers moved up so tighter to the line, and they're having a lot better success stopping Northwestern right now.
Gain of 5 on the play for Peterson. He has 23 yards on 5 carries. It'll be a 4th down and 4 for Maple Northwestern at the Cumberland 19-yard line, and Mackey brings them out. Man in motion to the right. First man through gets the ball. Pepper Kraft has the first down and more inside the 5.
There's your options. You have again, he's seen it happening right there. It opened up. He's obviously read it the time before, but he didn't hand it off to him. But this time he hit the up back. The up back had a clear hole, blocked well in front. Center and guard took out their men. Very simple, just basic straight-ahead blocking, make a hole, and the running back reads the hole, and you take it right up the middle, 10-yard gain.
13 on that one, in fact. And it's a 1st and goal for the Tigers at the Cumberland 6-yard line, no score, but now Maple wants to talk it over. Timeout, Northwestern. We'll take a 60-second break and be back after this on WJFC.
Schneider Pharmacy in downtown Cumberland is now double the store it used to be. Completely remodeled, Schneider Pharmacy is now able to offer a bigger and better selection of everything. Cosmetics, perfumes, gifts, books, cards, candy, just about everything that you need, you can find at the newly remodeled Schneider Pharmacy. Stop in and enjoy an old-fashioned soda at their fountain. Get your prescription needs filled, film processing, and hospital equipment rental. Schneider Pharmacy in downtown Cumberland.
The family physicians and staff at the Cumberland and Turtle Lake Medical Clinics offer you professional, quality health care when you need it. Total family health care, infants through adults. Put your family's health care and trust with the physicians and staff at the clinics. All physicians are board certified and offer small town health care with all the services and equipment of big town health care. The Cumberland and Turtle Lake Medical Clinics, professional quality health care.
1st and goal for the Maple Northwestern Tigers at the Cumberland 6-yard line. The Beavers taking the opening kickoff, a short kickoff, and driving into Maple territory, but unable to convert on a 4th down play. Gave the ball up to the Tigers at about their Maple 40-yard line, and Northwestern has chugged down to the 6, and here they go. 1st and goal. Donovan Mackey brings the Tigers out. He's got Jesse Peterson wing right. Now in motion to the right is Matt Schmidt. There's the handoff to Schmidt. Schmidt carries down close to the goal line.
I tell you, they're really playing that option very well. They're blocking up front, just straight ahead blocking. The running back reads the hole wherever he thinks it's going to open up. It's basically a real simple offense to block with. It's as far as an offensive lineman standpoint. But the difficult part of this offense is a quarterback. He has so many different options that he can use.
And after a 5-yard gain, Northwestern 1st and goal at their 2nd and goal at the 1-yard line, and Mackey hands off inside. Touchdown, Northwestern. Pepper Kraft scores the touchdown from 1 yard away, and Northwestern on the board with a 6-0 lead. 3 minutes and 8 seconds to go in the first period.
You've just seen why a good running game will beat. If you've got a decent running game, you're going to go far. You're going to go quite a ways in the conference. A good running game will take you places where a passing game 9 times out of 10 will not take you, and they just proved it right there. Good straight ahead blocking and good power running.
And they're going to go for 2. Here's the running back going inside for the 2-point conversion, and that was Schmidt. And taking the wing, he was started off on the left wing and just in motion, and took the handoff, and away he goes. So Maple Northwestern has an 8-0 lead, and we will keep it right here. Maybe they got a weakness. They don't have a kicking game.
No, they really don't need a kicking game when you've got running backs that can take it in that far and take it in as often as they want, and go and run where they want. It's just I played on a team that was basically a running team also. And, you know, when you got a good running team, you don't have to pass the ball, even though you might have a quarterback that can unload the ball whenever he wants to unload it.
So Maple Northwestern drives about 60 yards for their first score. And the Beavers now will see what they can do about getting the kickoff. They have a new kicker in instead of Kraft, and this guy gets a bit of a more foot on it. He gets it down to about the 20-yard line up the middle. Still going. That is Masiska again, and Masiska with a 109th return across the 40 to about the 43-yard line, and Cumberland again with decent field position.
Yeah, Mikey didn't play around with it that time. He just basically took her right up the gut and took it. Didn't wait for any blockers to come down in front of him. You know, they set up there, but all the Northwestern players run right by him, and he just took off right up the center, right through him.
So Mike Masiska, who has been the only Cumberland player to handle the ball on offense, threw one pass incomplete and carried the ball 5 times in the first drive. And has a man in motion going over to the right. That's Jamie Anderson. Masiska that time hands off. Nice big hole. Horseman to the midfield. Horseman to the 45 to the Northwestern 44.
I'll tell you, he made a good run and he paid for it down here. These defensive backs from Maple, they really put a pop on somebody. They're not scared to hit you when you're coming down there. They figure if you're going to get into their territory, they're going to make you pay for that run.
A 14-yard gain, and Cumberland with his second first down. The ball now at the Northwestern 44-yard line. Rydberg comes wide to the left now for the Beavers. Masiska has Horseman in a slot left. Anderson now in motion back to the line. Northwestern blitzing, and Masiska is hit. He fumbles the ball, but who's got it? Big pile up. Looks like Cumberland covers, and they do. And that drops them back at the 47 or 8-yard line of the Beavers.
I tell you, Pepper Kraft was inching his way up toward there. You could see that. They didn't obviously pick up that blitz. He had a hold of Mike Masiska before he could even make his turn to hand the ball off. You know, he was right in Mike's back pocket before he could even make a decision on which way he wanted to go.
A loss of 7 on the play for Masiska. And that brings up a second down and 17. Let's see if Masiska puts it upstairs. Instead, he hands off to Horseman. Another big hole. Horseman into the secondary. Horseman down inside the 40, back to the 39-yard line.
I think that Horseman, he's quite the running back. I think he could have some good outside speed, but he's got that real deceptive speed on the inside. It doesn't look like he's moving that fast, but he's got the real long legs, and when he gets them stretched out, I tell you, there ain't going to be too many people who's going to catch him once he gets to the wide open spaces out here.
Gets a gain of 13 yards on the play. It'll bring him third down and about 4 for Cumberland at the Tiger 39-yard line. Again, Northwestern showing blitz. Horseman into the left side of the line. He's not going anywhere.
They read that well. That inside dive, you've got to have that well blocked, or your running back is going to pay the price when he goes in there. And he paid the price that time. He ran into both guard and the tackle and the defensive end and pitched him right down tight.
4 down linemen and 4 linebackers in the formation for Northwestern, and the Beavers are going to punt the football away. On 4th down and 4, there's the snap. And the punter, a left-footed, gets a nice kick away, and it's going to go toward the end zone, and it's going to drop at the 5, inside the 5, and it's down at the 3-yard line.
Excellent punt. Excellent punt that time. The Northwestern player probably let that go. He probably shouldn't have. Anytime it goes inside if it's over your head past the 10-yard line, you should let it go. But, he had a chance to pick that up at the 15. He left it roll, and, they're going to start in poor field position down here.
Chris Shirer on the punt for the Beavers. He pushed it just enough. And with the damp turf, didn't need to get want too much of a roll on it, and the ball is at the 3-yard line.
That's what you call a good wedge shot.
Yes, sir. 36-yard punt for Shirer. And let's see what the Tigers do this down deep, and they hand off immediately to Pepper Kraft, who comes up the middle for a couple of 3 yards.
I tell you, they're not going to play too stupid down here. They're going to stick with the things that got them where they want to go, and that's the running game, and they're going to power it out of their end zone.
And what got them the lead here at the end of the first quarter, Maple Northwestern 8, Cumberland nothing. Back in half a minute on WJMC.
Before you decide on a financial institution, stop in and check out the newest financial institution in Cumberland, the Island City branch of the Bank of Turtle Lake. The friendly folks at the Island City branch of the Bank of Turtle Lake services all of your banking needs with the kindness and courtesy that you'd expect. And for folks who might have worked late on Friday, the lobby at the Island City branch of the Bank of Turtle Lake is open on Saturdays from 9 a.m. to noon for your convenience. Good luck to the Cumberland Beavers football team this season from the Island City branch of the Bank of Turtle Lake.
The Cumberland Beavers trailing the Maple Northwestern Tigers 8-0 after 1 quarter of play have the Tigers backed up close to their own goal line at the 6-yard line, where it will be 2nd down and 7.
Well, we've seen a good punt by Cumberland to knock them down into their own end down here. Let's see if Cumberland can hold them and make a good defensive stand to get a good field position.
62 yards in offense for Northwestern in the first period. Cumberland with 41. And the Beavers with John Chartrand, Darren White the tackles, Dave Olson, David Reeby the ends, Pete LeBlanc in the middle. On the nose, Mike Masiska, Chad Lanson, Eric Greshner, and Jamie Anderson, the linebackers. On the corners, Andy Nurbin and Ryan Rydberg. Here's Maple. We finally got a whistle and some movement, perhaps, on the Northwestern side. And that looks like what the call is going to be, which will knock him half the distance to the goal. Illegal procedure, Maple.
You get a little jumpy on those plays. You're down your own end. You want to make sure you don't lose any yards down there. And a few of the linemen, they just start, well, I'm going to get a fast start on everybody else. Let's make sure we get her going here.
And that puts the ball back at the 3, where it will be 2nd down and 10 for Northwestern. When you start out one of the wingbacks in motion right away, that tackle on that side of the play sometimes is prone to jump.
Yeah, he's prone to jump, and he sees the guy going out of the corner of his eye, but he should be listening for the count.
And there's the handoff in the middle to Kraft. Kraft struggles forward. Looks like he might have dropped the ball, but he hangs on. He gets up to the 9, where it will bring up a 3rd down and 4 for the Northwestern Tigers.
I tell you, he's a tough running back to the inside. He does a lot of the dirty work on the inside. He doesn't get many outside pitches. He gets all his work to the inside, and he's making a lot of good yards for him tonight.
At the 9-yard line, the Beavers punting on 4th down rather than going for the 1st down in Northwestern territory, trying to make the gamble pay off now. If they could force the Tigers to punt, the Beavers would get very good field position. There's the man in motion. Here is the handoff inside. Again, a bulldog through, and it looks like they held. Kraft again for the Tigers. That was a correction. Schmidt.
I tell you, on those type of plays, if your offensive line doesn't blow off the ball, you're just straight ahead blocking. With this offense, you're just, there's nothing fancy about it. You're just going to straight ahead, play your man head up, and, you got to try to beat him.
Schmidt gains 2. It's 4th down and 2. Kraft will stand a yard or 2 deep in his own end zone to punt the ball away to the Tigers. Masiska deep for Cumberland. Kraft booms it out, gets a nice kick. Should get a nice roll, and it's going to get now a Cumberland roll, and it stays inbounds, and is finally down at the 46-yard line of Northwestern. So the Tigers are held deep in their own territory, and Cumberland gets about no yardage really on the exchange, but they still have the ball.
This ought to be a good time for Cumberland to see what kind of mettle they have, to go down there and score a touchdown. They're in good field position. They have shown that they can move the ball. Mike Masiska is quality quarterback back there, and he just needs a little more time to make things happen for him.
10:34 to play, first period, and counting. 8-0 Maple Northwestern. Cumberland the ball at the Tiger 46. Masiska rolls and now pitches. The Horseman is hit hard and dropped for a loss. In Cumberland territory, on the stop for Maple is John Ronrus.
I tell you, that was a perfectly played option play. They played everybody the way they should. The defensive end, takes on the blocker coming out there. The cornerback takes on the quarterback, and one of the halfbacks coming around just takes the running back out. They strung it out beautifully and made the stop.
A loss of 5 yards on the play. 2nd and 15 for the Beavers at their own 49-yard line. Rydberg and Anderson wide left. Horseman slot left. Masiska back to throw. Masiska across the middle. Anderson has it and drops the ball at midfield. And the Cumberland side calling for a late hit on the part of the Tigers.
I got to tend to agree with him there a little bit. He dropped the ball and was standing there, and he just got plowed broadside. He didn't. They've been kind of questionable here with some of these calls they've had tonight. That's just my opinion, but you're not out here to hurt anybody. You're out here to have fun. This is just high school. We're not playing pro. Kids want to go to school and they want to have fun playing football, and you want to be able to, go to school with all your marbles in anyway on Monday.
And not aching too much.
Yeah.
An official's timeout as Rydberg comes out of the game. Anderson was hit hard and had an equipment problem. Looks like something with the front of his shoulder pads.
Just wait a few seconds then. Okay.
It will be a 3rd down and 15 situation for Cumberland at their own 49-yard line. It turns out at a nice time. We got a nice breeze moving across the width of the field here at Moser Field. And we had a few raindrops earlier in the evening, but just enough to moisten things a little bit. 9.5 minutes to play, second period, 8-0 Maple Northwestern. Masiska, play action, back to throw, heavy pressure. Dumps it off to the short man. He's got his man, cutting back inside, runs into one of his own blockers. And up the left side of the field, still going. Almost for the first down is David Reeby.
That's a very good play if you can make it work against a very aggressive defense like Maple Northwestern has. They're coming in there. They're sending everybody down. You know, the outside screen worked real well. They set it up beautifully that time. Mike held on to the ball. He had just enough blockers in front of him to hold him off, but they all bid on it, and he got it outside and made a good gain on that.
A gain that almost gets them a first down. Instead, it's 4th and a yard. Call it a 14-yard gain from Masiska to Reeby on the first pass completion of the night. And Cumberland going for it now. Maple showing width, and the Tigers that time jump. I was waiting for that to happen.
You know, he's been bumping up against that line real quick, bobbing back and forth, and one of these times he got caught, and then, you know, Mike had a good count that time. Basically drew him off sides. He wasn't watching what he was doing.
And it's a first down for Cumberland at the 32-yard line of Maple Northwestern.
You know, aggressiveness is fine when you're playing football, but you don't want it to have to cost you. You know, in the long run, they had them down 4th and 2, could have held them. You know, now they're going to give them a good first down, ready to shoot at them again.
Masiska sends Anderson wide to the right. Rydberg wide left. Masiska handoff inside to Reeby. Reeby is collared and brought down for a gain of only a couple. On the stop for Northwestern, Jason Matson. The Beavers, I would think, have to be heartened by the way the game is going so far. They're trailing 8-0, but
they're still in the ball game.
They're hanging right in there.
But you know, that was probably the only option he really had that time. He made 2 yards. If he'd have held on to the ball, Mike, they'd probably lost 2 instead of gaining 2.
Horstman comes out of the game now for the Beavers, and coming in is Eric Greshner at a running back. And Greshner now goes on the slot left. And now in motion goes Reeby to the right. Masiska will pop across the middle. He's got his man, and down inside the 20 to the 21-yard line on the catch. Cumberland is Dave Olson on the first down, Beavers.
I tell you, Mike Masiska played last year. Jamie Olson got hurt last year. He twisted his ankle, went out of the first half in a ball game they played against Spooner. He came in off the bench and played a real excellent game. It kind of was a proving ground for Mike last year, and you know, that was a good pass right down the seam. He put it where he could catch it, and that was the only way he could put it.
Gain of 9 on the play, 4th first down for the Beavers. They trail at 8-0, but are driving. Masiska to throw again. He's got Rydberg over on the right side. He's caught and dragged down at the 11-yard line, making the 12. He will be just short of a first down.
I tell you, he's zipping them in there. It's a beautiful pass. You know, they've got to be a precision type pass, and to get against the defense like that, and you know, he threw it only place the receiver could catch it, and that was a very good pass.
It's a gain of, call it, 9 yards on the play. After missing his first 2 or 3, Masiska has hit 3 in a row. And a long count now for Masiska on second down and about 2. Masiska, pitch beat, and juggling the ball. Horstman finally gathers it in, and he's dropped 4 along.
He did all his best he could to hold on to the ball. He got it. Mike pitched it, hit him right in a face mask. You know, it's kind of hard to get a good handle on a ball when you're trying to catch it out of your face mask, but you know, he did a good job just basically holding on to the ball and not giving it back over to Maple.
A loss of 7 on the play for Horstman. And it will bring up a 3rd down and 8 for Cumberland at the Maple Northwestern 19-yard line, 6:18 to go, second period. Tigers leading at 8-0. Here's Masiska rolling out left. Here's the pitch. Almost caught, and it's going to be dropped, but covered up by Reeby as he was in the grasp of a Tiger defender, and it will be a loss back across the 20, bringing up a 3rd and long situation
on that
for
type of
Cumberland.
On that type of a defense, so I don't know if it's going to be wise, you know, running on a 8-man front defense like that, running wide. They're going to string it out and basically hold you back behind the line. They might have to shoot like a tight end or somebody down through the middle, a crossing pattern into the middle. They have nobody back down through there. It could be successful for Cumberland that way. They have one strong safety in the middle, and if they get one guy breaking open and the way Mike can pass, it could be a big game for them.
4th down and 13 for the Beavers at the 24-yard line, and Cumberland wants to talk it over. Timeout. We will take a 60-second timeout and be back with more. This is high school football on WJMC.
Now you can design your washing system the way you want with interchangeable pipeline washers from Bender and the other place in Rice Lake. From Bender's Premier Control or Monitor Control to the 3-pump dispenser or 3-jar dispenser. Either control unit can be used with either dispenser. Find out which Bender pipeline washer will fit your needs and call the other place at 234-7194 or 800-657-5194. The other place, your Bender dealer just south of Rice Lake off Highway SS.
When you make your next car or truck purchase, stop first at Swan Motor Company in Rice Lake, serving the area since 1948. Reliability and customer service are just two of the reasons why Swan Motor Company has been a leader in the area for over 40 years. Stop in now and see the all-new redesigned 92 Pontiac Bonneville full-size 4-door at Swan Motor Company. Your Jeep, Eagle, Pontiac, and GMC truck dealer on South Main, Rice Lake.
For Cameron, Webster, and all of Wisconsin's great Northwest, this is WJMC FM, Rice Lake, Barron.
On 4th down and 13 from the Northwestern 24, the Beavers going for it. Rydberg is wide left. And here's the pitch. They're going to run a reverse, and Rydberg going to run to the right. Wide open. Anderson open in the end zone. He's got a touchdown, Cumberland! Hey!
Beautiful run pass that time. They played him off to one side. Rydberg comes to the other side and just laid it out there. He's all alone in the end zone. Beautifully called play.
Anderson broke free as the initial handoff to Reeby stuck in the defense. And then Rydberg, coming from the left side, was looking to throw all the way on
Looking to throw. The only way you're going to be able to beat an 8-man front defense is to pass it just over that coverage in the back. And the wide receivers that they have, they can run that type of pattern.
The only question was whether or not he could get the ball to him, and he did. And Cumberland looking to go for two.
Good job on the offense that time, running plays. Very well called play, and he just dumped it over there. Beautiful pass pattern run, and Cumberland is in this ball game. A lot of people are counting them out. They expect Maple Northwestern to come in here and just blow them off the field, but Cumberland does have a very, very good offensive-minded quarterback in Mike Masiska, and they've got 3 very tall wide receivers. So that can make up a lot of difference right there.
So the strategy pays off. They punted and pinned Northwestern deep down at the 1, and the Tigers were unable to get anything going out of there and had to punt out of their own end zone. And it gave a good field position to Cumberland, and the Beavers taking advantage. Now they're ready to go for 2. Anderson, who caught the touchdown pass, goes wide left. Rydberg, who threw it, goes wide right. Masiska, the quarterback, he rolls out to his left, hands off in the middle. Horstman is in there for 2. Nice misdirection play that time.
Misdirection play. They thought they were going to pitch it to the outside. He handed it off to the inside. He took it right up the middle. Horstman with a very good run that time.
And the game is tied at 8. We'll keep it right here. So the Cumberland Beavers, a lot of spirit on the sideline. Mark Fuller, a very intense coach, very personable gentleman. Also the head coach of the Cumberland baseball team, very successful baseball program here at Cumberland. And the Beavers, with Shatek moving into the Lakeland Conference this year, I believe the smallest school now, enrollment-wise, in the heart of the North. And still, as we saw, 3-3 in the conference last year, were able to hold their own and are trying to do the same this time, and they're off to a really good start in this game. Rick Chartraw will kick off for the Beavers. And he gets a nice kick. It's going to be taken and dropped by Pepper Kraft, and Kraft picks it up finally at the 20 and is down. He downs the football right there. He was on one knee when he picked it up.
I tell you, stuff like that, coaches are kind of pull their hair out when they see people, bouncing it off their shoulder pads, and they try to make a grab for it instead of just falling on the ball. Instead of, he could have made a big mistake and lost him the ball that time by trying to pick it up. But, it just happens that he got on the ball and was called down.
Northwestern 1st and 10 at their own 21, and with 5:05 and counting, they have 2 timeouts remaining. There is a man in motion to the right, the handoff up the middle to Kraft. Kraft gets about 4 yards before he's brought down. And you have to think Cumberland now, if they can stop them 3 downs and out, then they have a chance to get something going here.
I tell you, they're playing inspired ball right now. They scored that touchdown, and they figure, well, if Northwestern can't do any more to me than that, we're gonna play with them tonight. We're not gonna lay down on them and let them run all over us. We're gonna basically play ball with them. Let's play.
Second down and 7 for Maple at the Northwestern 24-yard line. As Mackey brings them out. Mackey has Peterson in motion. Peterson cuts over, and he's dropped for a loss. Anderson on the stop for Cumberland. He's been the man on both sides of the ball tonight for the Beavers so far.
I tell you, long and lanky, 6'4", 160 pounds. You know, those type of guys that, you know, everyone who's playing football in high school, the tall, lanky guys were always the hardest ones to block because they could usually either high hurdle you or either slap you out of the way because they had such long arms and, you know, they could basically hold you right away from their body. But, you know, he's playing excellent outside linebacker on that.
Third down and 7 now for Northwestern as 3:50 and counting. There is the handoff. Coming up the left side is Schmidt. And Schmidt will not get the first down. He picks up about 5 yards, but he's still shy. And on the stop for Cumberland, Dave Olson. Also on the stop is Chad Lanson.
I tell you, Cumberland is they're impressing me. Last year they impressed me quite a bit when they played Spooner. They don't bend. They might bend, but they do not break, and they don't give up. You know, that's the kind of team I like to watch play.
Gain of 6. It's 4th down and a yard. Kraft will punt for the Tigers. There's the snap. Beavers come after him. He gets a beauty away. Masisko will let it go, and it's going to take a nice Northwestern bounce inside the 30 to about the 27-yard line. So the Tigers get a great punt, and Northwestern will go on the defense. Cumberland with 1st and 10 with 3 minutes and 3 seconds to go in the first half and tied at 8. The ball is at the Cumberland 23-yard line.
I'll tell you, Maple just about got that one blocked. He was about a half an inch from getting his finger on it to tip it a little bit. But, you know, coming straight in like that at a ball, you're not going to have very good success. You know, blocking a punt, you're going to have to, you know, kind of get off at an angle a little bit coming at it. But, you know, that could cost them in the long run, too, if they get one block.
A 48-yard punt as the Beavers hand off to Horseman up the middle. Horseman struggles to about the 27-yard line.
You can see the confidence building in Cumberland. They say, well, we can run, too. You know, they're having good luck. You know, 5 yards at a pop. You know, I'll take 5 yards every time you want to give me the ball.
Horseman with his 6th carry, and he picks up 3. That gives him 18 yards for the game. 2:28 and counting. Beavers have 2 timeouts remaining. Wide left is Andy Nerbit, and Reinberg goes wide to the right. Horseman and Reeby behind the quarterback, Masisko. Here's Horseman with a nice ball. Horseman cuts around left, breaks the tackle, cuts back inside, and he's got a first down up to the 40-yard line.
I tell you, Horseman is really a deceptive running back. You know, when he gets out of there, he's got that long, lanky stride to him, but you don't think he's moving that fast. But, you know, when they get out there, the quarterbacks just don't seem to have the legs to catch him. He gets to the outside, and he's gone. You know, good downfield blocking by the wide receivers also on that play.
Gain of 13 yards. Cumberland first down number 5. And now with 2 minutes to play in the first half, Masiska, we'll see what he has to do now. He's going to throw. He looks quickly. Reinberg is wide open. Reinberg cuts back, and he tried to cut it outside. Had a nice cut as the defender was inside of him, but he gets up to the 48-yard line. Nice play there.
I tell you love having wide receivers with that a good reach, and, you know, that tall out there, you can see him. Mike Masiska's got a good arm. He's getting them out there. It takes a lot of arm to get them to the flats like that, especially the way he's throwing it.
A minute 30 and 2nd down and 1 now for Cumberland at their own 48-yard line. In motion to the left is Anderson. Masiska rolling out to his right. Masiska deep pitch and fumbled and dropped on by Northwestern. The pitch to Reedy was a bad pitch, and the Tigers fall on the ball at the 44 of Cumberland.
I tell you, I think he kind of made a mistake that time. He probably should have held on to the ball. He might have lost a couple, but still, when you get that much plugged up in the inside on an option play, you're better off holding on to the ball instead of trying to pitch it because you're looking for trouble when you pitch it with that much company around you.
First turnover of the game gives the ball to Northwestern at the Cumberland 45-yard line. This is the best field position they've had since their touchdown drive. Loss of 3 on the play, charged to Masiska. 1 minute, 7 seconds and counting. Northwestern has 2 times out remaining. Here is Mackey. Mackey hands off straight ahead to Kraft, who bowls his way into the line down to about the 42-yard line.
You know, this type of offense you're going to see is just a basic run right at you and right down your throat type offense. It's not going to be anything. It's going to be fancy.
And Northwestern calls time to see what they might come up with here.
But, you know, Cumberland has got it well defense right now, and they're playing it well. They have to, you know, basically play head up on everybody, play your read, and, you don't let yourself get caught to the outside too much.
This might be the type of situation with 48 seconds to go where they might try and pop one over the middle on you.
Try to air them out, just to change them up a little bit, see what else is going on here tonight.
Donovan Mackey, the Northwestern quarterback, 5'10", 148-pound junior. His running backs, Jesse Peterson, 6'1", 178, a senior. Matt Schmidt, 6'3", and 200, a senior. And Pepper Kraft, 6'1", and 215, a senior. Pretty good size backfield. And to run the wing T effectively, you're going to have, in many respects like the wishbone, a big stud fullback in there, and two wings or tailbacks who can move, have quickness, and yet can take a hit and get past that line of scrimmage.
And get to the outside as fast as possible. They can really motor.
Adam Hurlevy, the wideout, goes wide to the right. Here is Peterson in motion. He bumps into Mackey, who is going to throw. The left-hander airs one out left side. It is incomplete. Intended down deep for Matt Schmidt at about the 25-yard line. Double coverage, Rydberg and Masiska for Cumberland. It's now 3rd and 7 for Northwestern. 42 seconds to go.
If he'd probably, stayed back a little bit, dropped back in the pocket instead of making a roll that way to his right. He had a wide receiver breaking right down the middle on a post pattern. He had him wide open, but I don't think he could quite read the pattern when you run it to your right and throw back to your left.
Peterson in motion, and Mackey will go rolling left again, and he fires, and he's got his man, Peterson, but is jumped by Masiska for a gain of about 4 or 5 yards short of the first down. 30 seconds to go. If I were Cumberland, I'd blow a timeout right here. Stop the clock.
Stop him, and Mike Masiska, both sides of the ball, he's gonna he's gonna feel it tomorrow because the young man is putting out a lot of effort here in the first half.
Northwestern calls time. That's an interesting situation. You'd think they'd want to let it roll out down to a few seconds.
It's a question call. They might think they have a play in their playbook that they can score on Cumberland here, but by passing, I don't think they're going to get there. I don't think the quarterback has got quite enough arm to get them where they want to go and that far down the field.
Especially since he's a left-hander and he was rolling out to his right and had to kind of cross-body the thing back.
And that's a hard throw for a left-hander going to his right. If he's coming this way, to his left, he probably have better luck, but, and that's throwing back against the grain. There's only about one quarterback, 2 or 3 quarterbacks in the whole NFL that can throw back toward the grain. And in high school, I don't see many high school kids that can do that.
Certainly not getting the money that the big guys.
No.
21 seconds to go, first half. We are tied at 8. Cumberland has 2 timeouts remaining. 4th down and 3 for the Tigers at the Cumberland 38-yard line, and the Tigers going to go for it. Let's see what they do. Everybody bunched up pretty good. And there's Peterson in motion. He takes it. Here comes the reverse. Here comes Hurlevy over the left. Hurlevy cuts up the middle. Hurlevy, he almost broke it, but he gets the first down inside the 30 on a stop by Rydberg. And the clock stops on the first down with 12 seconds to go. Northwestern does not have a timeout remaining. Hurlevy with Northwestern's 4th first down. And the Tigers now with the clock starting, 10 seconds to go in the half. And they down the ball immediately. Mackey spiking the ball immediately after taking the snap. That is allowed. It's not intentional grounding. And that stops the clock with 7 seconds to go.
I tell you, Maple Northwestern, they pulled that sneaky reverse on Cumberland, though, but, Mike Masiska stayed at home. He played it well. He didn't get caught up in the drift and the flow of everybody else going the other way. He stayed at home like he's supposed to do. A cornerback or a defensive back has got their own assignments. If they get burned deep, he could cost your team big time there, but he played his defense well and stayed home and made the tackle.
Might be the last play of the half, and here comes Mackey. He's going to roll to his left. He's going to throw. He's got Kraft. Kraft cuts inside at the 20. Kraft is going down at the 15, and that's the end of the first half. It would have been enough for a first down, but it's not going to count. And the Beavers hold, and we're at halftime. The score is Cumberland 8, Maple Northwestern 8. We'll be back in 90 seconds. This is high school football on WJMC.
Subway makes my bread up fresh, and that's my way. My way. Subway makes my sub the best way. My way. Subway. Make my sub in front of me. Just the way it ought to be. It's fresh and hot. I know I got it. My way. Subway. My way. Subway. Subway. My way.
Subway, the new Rosestone Plaza, Rice Lake.
When your family deserves the best, shop Kirkwood's IGA stores in Barron, Bloomer, Chetek, and Colfax. Find savings like Hormel Original, Hot and Spicy, or Patty's Little Sizzlers for only 99 cents for a 10 to 12 count package. Super True self-basting young turkey breast, 99 cents a pound, 4 to 7 pound average. And check this out. Wilson Corn King Jumbo Franks, 5 1-pound packages for only $4. So when your family deserves the very best, shop the very best. Kirkwood's IGA stores, Barron, Bloomer, Chetek, and Colfax.
Sometimes health needs require a medical specialist. That's when you can turn to us for help. The specialists at Cumberland Memorial Hospital use their expertise to diagnose and treat patients with skill and caring on a one-to-one basis. So from oncology to ophthalmology, neurology to gynecology, we're here to meet even the most challenging health problems. If you'd like to see one of our specialists, call us today for an appointment. Cumberland Hospital, quality care from people who care.
And we are back at Moser Field in Cumberland. Dave Tyndall and Bob Lee on a muggy Friday night as the Cumberland pom-pom squad is on the field with a dance routine. The Beavers have retreated to I don't know where. Oh, there they are, way over on the softball diamond outfield here, while the Northwestern Tigers have gone to the one end zone here at Moser Field. I believe it's the north end zone. And if I were Northwestern, I might be a bit concerned right now because they are tied 8 apiece on the scoreboard, and Cumberland is playing them straight up right from the start.
Straight up, right at them. They know exactly what Maple's going to do. They're going to run right at them. You know, if you can defense that offense from Maple, and everybody stay home, play your man, play your key, you're going to be real successful stopping a running game like that, especially if they can't, get past that first interior alignment. If they can't break you through there and get to the open spaces, you're going to have all kinds of success stopping them tonight.
Now, you don't expect that the Tigers and their coach will change their strategy now. I'm sure what they'll try and do is they will stay with of course, what we're doing to try and wear them down, because we got the numbers and so on, and we can wear them down. And Cumberland has to think that if we can just hang in there and put another score on the board, it's anybody's ball game. Cumberland has to try to avoid allowing any long drives.
Any long drives the second half, they got to come out second half here, stop them on defense like we seen last week. We said Barron had to make a good defensive stand the first time. They did. They come out, took control of the ball game in the second half. Cumberland through the first and second half, they scored. Maple scored that first touchdown. They took it right down there and scored it, but Cumberland kind of got the bend but don't break attitude on their defense. Really impressed me. I tell you, they're a strong bunch of kids. They're not real big up front, but they're aggressive and they want to. They stop people and hold people right in front of them. They don't let them get by them for any big gainers.
Let's take a look at some unofficial statistics in the first half for Cumberland. Leading rusher Horstman, 7 carries, 31 yards. Masiska, 7 for 11. Reeby, 2 for -3. In the air, Masiska has completed 4 of 6 for 41 yards, and Rydberg 1 of 1 for 24 yards and the Cumberland touchdown. Receiving, Rydberg 2 catches for 18 yards. Anderson 1 for 24, the touchdown. Reeby 1 for 14. Olson 1 for 9. For Maple, Kraft has carried 8 times for 40 yards. Peterson 6 for 23. Schmidt 4 for 19. Hurlevy 1 for 10 on the reverse. Mackey has not had a rushing attempt. And unlike a wishbone quarterback who will carry the ball quite a bit, a wing T quarterback, in this case a double wing formation, is not going to carry the ball. And that makes it a little bit easier on the defense because, when you defend a wishbone, you have to have a linebacker keying on the quarterback all the time.
All the time.
And that takes one guy away from paying attention to the running back.
Yeah, and Cumberland is playing, right up front. They're playing right straight up with them. They're coming up with an 8-man front. The down linemen are playing right nose to nose with the people right in front of them. That's, real good defense. You come out with something like that. It's basic, straight-ahead defense. You have to, make that stop. That stop has got to be made on that front line. If it's not stopped and they break into the secondary, it's all over. It's all over but the crying after they get past you.
Northwestern passing, Mackey 2 of 4 for 16 yards. Peterson caught 1 for 3. Kraft 1 for 13. Taking a look at other statistics, each team with 5 first downs in the first half. Northwestern 108 yards in offense, Cumberland 104. Penalties, we've had only one penalty in the game, and that was when Northwestern was called for offside and backed them up 3 yards. Or correction, 2 penalties. One a 5-yarder on the Tigers that gave Cumberland a first down on their touchdown drive. And then Northwestern was called for illegal motion when they had the ball on their own 6-yard line, and that pushed them back to the 3. And that also was a critical play because they were forced to punt out of that, and Cumberland got the ball in great field position and went in and scored. Yeah. Cumberland has not committed a penalty tonight.
They're playing mistake-free ball. This type of ball game, Cumberland has to play mistake-free ball game. They can't get into a real slugfest with Maple Northwestern. If they play them right straight up and Maple makes a few mistakes like they did the first half there where they give them the ball this close down their own territory, any team can be beaten that way.
The only turnover in the game was a fumble by Cumberland late in the first half, but Northwestern unable to capitalize on it, so it did not hurt the Beavers except it took them out of a chance for them to take the lead at the end of the half. The first touchdown we had was on a 1-yard run by Kraft of the Tigers with 3:08 to go first quarter, ending a 60-yard Northwestern drive. Started when Cumberland unable to convert a 4th down situation in Maple territory after the opening kickoff. And the 2-point conversion by Schmidt made it 8-0. That's how the first quarter ended. The Beavers came back, and after forcing Northwestern to punt from its own end zone, took the ball inside Tiger territory, went down and scored on a 24-yard option pass from Rydberg. And Anderson really wasn't an option. He was looking to throw all the way. Horstman went over for the 2-point conversion and tied it at 8. That came with 5:19 to go first half. So a well-played first half, and we're tied at 8. We're going to take a 1-minute break, and then back at our studios, Dave Masick will fill you in on the latest in Major League Baseball, other high school football that we have, and other news, and a look at the weather perhaps as well. Then we'll be back at Moser Field. With the score, Cumberland 8, Northwestern 8. This is high school football on WJMC.
Northwestern State Bank in Cumberland would like to extend a cordial invitation for you to use their many services. Take advantage of the checking and savings accounts, loan plans, safe deposit boxes, and many other services that they offer. Stop in at your convenience. Remember, they're more than bankers. They're your neighbors and your friends. Northwestern State Bank, offices in Cumberland and Alameda, is the answer to all your banking needs. Member FDIC.
Schneider Pharmacy in downtown Cumberland is now double the store it used to be. Completely remodeled, Schneider Pharmacy is now able to offer a bigger and better selection of everything. Cosmetics, perfumes, gifts, books, cards, candy, just about everything that you need, you can find at the newly remodeled Schneider Pharmacy. Stop in and enjoy an old-fashioned soda at their fountain. Get your prescription needs filled, film processing, and hospital equipment rental. Schneider Pharmacy in downtown Cumberland.
24 minutes now past the hour of 8 o'clock, and we're between the first and second half of the Cumberland Beavers Northwestern Tigers football game, and they're tied up at 8 apiece. Taking a look at world and national news headlines for WJMC, I'm Dave Masick reporting. Virginia Governor Douglas Wilder calls himself the longest of long shots, but he's entering the race for the Democratic presidential nomination anyway. In announcing his bid today, Wilder accused President Bush of fostering racial divisiveness and failing to slash the federal deficit. Bush, meanwhile, may be one step closer to making a formal announcement that he'll seek a second term in the White House. Doctors say his exam today showed him to be in great shape, fully recovered from an irregular heartbeat problem. The select group of jurors chosen today to hear the drug and racketeering trial of Manuel Noriega is being warned to avoid a barrage of publicity. U.S. District Judge William Hovler cautioned the jurors to consider only the evidence in the trial, which opens in Miami on Monday. The United Nations Security Council is warning Iraq it'll face more sanctions if it doesn't let UN weapons inspectors use their own helicopters. Baghdad officials have complained that the use of foreign aircraft over Iraq violates the country's sovereignty. In Yugoslavia, Croatian radio is reporting that the Croat who heads the federation's collective presidency will ask the UN to send a peacekeeping force into Croatia. That word follows major military gains today by Serbs battling Croatia's independence drive. Those some headlines from world and national news. And taking a look at some sports items, heavyweight boxer Mike Tyson has won the first round in the courtroom battle to clear his name. An Indiana judge has put a gag order on attorneys, police, and court personnel involved in the case. The ruling comes after a request by lawyers for Tyson, who faces charges stemming from an alleged rape in July. The judge, Patricia Gifford, has also said she hopes Tyson and his entourage will refrain from commenting. Tyson has a January 27th trial date. On November 8th, he's slated to challenge Evander Holyfield for the heavyweight title. The Milwaukee Brewers are playing tonight against the Detroit Tigers. At the end of 2.5 innings, the Brewers lead the Tigers by a score of 2-0. And you can hear the Brewer game in its entirety right here on WJMC on a tape delay system following the high school football game. Once again, we're between halves of the Cumberland Beavers Northwestern Tigers football game, and it's Cumberland and Northwestern tied up at 8-all. The weather forecast for the WJMC listening area tonight becoming mostly cloudy with a 40% chance of showers and thunderstorms and a low around 60. Saturday, showers and thunderstorms likely with a high of around 75. And the chance of rain tomorrow, 80%. Currently, we have a temperature reading of 68 degrees. We'll be taking you back now to the high school football game after this timeout.
The family physicians and staff at the Cumberland and Turtle Lake Medical Clinics offer you professional, quality health care when you need it. Total family health care, infants through adults. Put your family's health care and trust with the physicians and staff at the clinics. All physicians are board certified and offer small town health care with all the services and equipment of big town health care. The Cumberland and Turtle Lake Medical Clinics, professional quality health care.
Before you decide on a financial institution, stop in and check out the newest financial institution in Cumberland, the Island City branch of the Bank of Turtle Lake. The friendly folks at the Island City branch of the Bank of Turtle Lake services all of your banking needs with the kindness and courtesy that you'd expect. And for folks who might have worked late on Friday, the lobby at the Island City branch of the Bank of Turtle Lake is open on Saturdays from 9 a.m. to noon for your convenience. Good luck to the Cumberland Beavers football team this season from the Island City branch of the Bank of Turtle Lake.
Well, we are back now at Moser Field in Cumberland with the score at halftime. Cumberland 8, Maple Northwestern 8. Also, late in the first half, Rice Lake leading Phillips 7-3 in their non-conference game at Pugmont Field in Rice Lake. Ernie Columbus hoping for his first victory as Rice Lake coach after a tough loss to Barron and another tough loss to Baldwin Woodville. And the Rice Lake Warriors hoping to get a victory tonight before they start Big Rivers play next week.
I tell you, Rice Lake has run into a couple real good teams here in the first part of the year. Baldwin Woodville and Barron. Barron defeated Bloomer last week, a real good game. Neither one of those teams are going to be a walkover at anybody's conference. Baldwin Woodville throws in with Bloomer in that real hard conference to play in.
Middle border, and they're playing tonight.
And I tell you, that's a lot of tough teams out there. There's they talk about parity in the pro sports. There's quite a bit of parity this year in high school sports.
Yes, there is. And there's going to be some really serious head knocking going on come playoff time, I'll tell you, from the teams out of the middle border and the heart of the north and so on. We're a long way from that, though. This is only the 13th of September, and the Cumberland Beavers finishing their halftime warm-ups look like a pretty spirited bunch as they come over here, and they will be kicking off to start the third period. And again, I would expect Maple to come out and try and just grind it up at this start of the third quarter.
They're going to go out and try to do the things that got them where they wanted to go to get them here. Cumberland is going to stay with their defense. They're going to play right heads up right in front of them. They're going to get in their face, and they've got good confidence going from that first half after they had such good luck stopping them. They're not going to change up anything. They might be throw a few trick plays in here just to keep Maple Northwestern on their toes, but I look for a good tough second half here.
Deep to receive the kickoff for Northwestern, Jesse Peterson along with Matt Schmidt. And the Beavers will tee it up, and doing the kicking for Cumberland will be Rick Chartraw. And we're just about ready to go. Northwestern moving from our right to our left in the third period. Chartraw says he's ready. And he gets a squibber. And it's going to be bobbled by the Tigers and covered up at the Northwestern 38-yard line by Maple. And I had a feeling they might try something like that. It wasn't an onside kick attempt, but it was an attempt to just kind of take him by surprise and maybe fall on it. Darn near work.
I tell you, that football is made that way to be squibbed around her like that. It's one of the hardest things to try to hold on to if you're a big lineman. Have your hands taped up with a lot of pads on so you don't get bruised knuckles and everything else. And you see a ball coming at you like that, you just hope and pray that it goes over your head or falls on the ground so you can lay on it.
Here is the handoff over on the right side, and coming on the right side and going down the right sideline until he's pushed out of bounds is Matt Schmidt for Northwestern. And the Tigers, with pretty good field position to start the second half, almost get a first down on the first play of the half. They are very, very close.
I tell you, they're just going to try to run Cumberland's gas out of their ball tank tonight. I tell you, they just they're not going to stray away too far from that running game that gets them where they want to go. You're not going to see them air the ball out unless they get really far behind, but I don't think that's going to happen. 2nd and 1 now for Maple at their own 47. There is the handoff to Kraft in the middle. Kraft bowls forward. Kraft into a first down territory, into Beaver territory, to the 44-yard line. I tell you that the offensive coach obviously had a talk with his offensive linemen. I tell you, they've been driving Cumberland is back on their heels. They're going backwards faster than the running backs are hitting the line because the linemen for Northwestern are really blowing people off of there. A gain of 9 yards on the play for Kraft on his 9th carry. He's got 49 yards. And Northwestern, first down number 6, the ball at the Cumberland 44-yard line. Here's the handoff coming this way. Now they go to Schmidt again. Schmidt cuts inside. Schmidt breaks a couple of tackles and running hard. He gets inside the 35, close to another first down. I tell you, that pulling outside tackle, he pulled out of there, and the guy that was blowing through the hole just about made the tackle, but he got a hat on the guy, held him up long enough for Schmidt to get to the outside. Good gain on that play. Maybe enough for a first down. We will have a measurement, our first of the game. 10:51 to go in the third period. We are tied at 8. Northwestern scoring in the first quarter on a 1-yard run by Kraft. Cumberland answering in the second period on a 24-yard pass from Rydberg to Anderson. Each team tacking on a 2-point conversion. And we'll see what the officials can come up with here. It is a first down by more than the length of the football. That's one thing I don't do. I don't guess at first downs when we're sitting up here in the booth. Especially that far down the field. They're hard to judge that way. So Schmidt gains 11 yards, let's call it, on the run from scrimmage. He now has 39 yards on 7 carries. First down number 7 for the Tigers. The second on this drive. Going wide right for Maple is Scott Hildebrand. Wing right is Peterson. Wing left is Schmidt. He's in motion. He takes the ball, runs out to the right, trying to turn the corner. They turn him inside. He bites his way down towards to the 25-yard line. I tell you, just by Maple getting this close to us down at this end of the field, I've just been able to take a look at their linemen as compared to their running backs. Their running backs are just about as big or bigger than their linemen in front of them. When Pepper Kraft goes through there, he's just like a big offensive tackle turned loose going through the middle. He makes a hole for somebody. They're going to have a lot of space to run behind. Gain of 8 on the play for Schmidt. And it's now second down and 2 for the Tigers. Here's Schmidt in motion. Here's the play action. Rolling out to his left, Mackey. He's going to throw deep for Hurlevy. He's got it. Juggling. Did he get it? No! He drops the ball just inside the goal line. And lucky for the Beavers that he did, because he had a touchdown. He was probably so surprised. They probably throw it once or twice a year, and he's seen the ball, and he was that wide open, he just couldn't believe himself. He got the ball right in his stomach and dropped it. Mackey, play action, looking to throw all the way, and laid it right in, but Hurlevy unable to hang on to it. It brings up a third down and 2 for Northwestern at the Cumberland at 25. Hurlevy now splits wide to the left, and in motion to the right is Schmidt. He takes the handoff. It's a late handoff. Misiska stops him in the backfield for a loss. What a great play back at the 29, and fourth down for Maple. I don't think that play was set up very well. I don't think it was supposed to be meant to be handed off to the outside. The running back really didn't want the ball, and by the time he got to the outside, Mike Misiska shut it off and made a tackle from the backfield. Schmidt loses 4 on the play.
And with 9:15 and counting in the third period, the Tigers facing a fourth down situation at the Cumberland 29-yard line. Mackey brings them out. He's got his man Kraft in motion to the left. The pitch to Peterson. Peterson following Kraft. Peterson cuts in. Peterson is cut down. And he does have the first down, though, at the 20-yard line of Cumberland.
I tell you, they run that Green Bay sweep real well, bringing both guards and a big running back coming right up behind them. You know, you're going to get at least 5 yards by the way they run around that outside with that big running back, Pepper Kraft. Outstanding running back.
Peterson on the carry gains 8 yards. And it will be a 1st and 10 Northwestern, their 8th first down of the game, their 3rd on this drive, 8:37 and counting, 3rd quarter at the Cumberland 20. There's the handoff in the middle of Kraft, breaks off a tackle, and he's dropped. And a touchdown saving stop there by Muzzin LeBlanc of Cumberland at the 15-yard line.
I'll tell you, he was the only one standing between him and the goal line that time, and he made a good heads-up tackle, took him right head on, right straight at the knees, and held on for dear life and put him down.
5-yard pickup for Kraft. The ball at the Beaver 15 on 2nd and 5 now for Northwestern. Hildebrand coming in, going to the left. Ball on the left hash mark. Peterson now, the deep back in the wing, double wing. And there's the handoff coming inside. That is Schmidt. Schmidt is hit by Masiska, and a couple of other Beaver players come up to help out. Inside the 15, it's a gain of 2 or 3, bringing up a 4th down and about 3 situation now for Northwestern.
I tell you, Northwestern's having better luck going to their left as compared to their right. The right side has Mike Masiska over on that side playing the corner. You know, he's not letting anybody get to the outside on him, but you know, they're shutting him down to the right, but they're having better luck going to the left as Northwestern.
Schmidt 9 carries and 45 yards, and it brings up a 3rd down now, and 3 for Maple at the Cumberland 13-yard line. Schmidt in motion, a fumble snap. Mackey picks it up. He goes forward, gets maybe even the first down. The play motion was to the right. Mackey, the snap, bobbled right back up into his hands. He got the most fortunate that he could, but he's dropped for a gain of maybe a yard on the play.
Myself, you know, the left-handed quarterback in there, as much as they are running to the right, is almost amazing. I'm surprised he can. A lot of guys going to their right can't handle the ball that well. If they're a left-hander, it's probably going to be foreign to him, but they have better luck going to the left because their quarterback is a left-hander.
Gain of 2 on the play, 4th down, a little less than a yard for the Tigers. Here is the handoff inside, and in there, close to a touchdown, is Kraft of the Tigers. Nice deception on the part of the Cumberland, on the part of the Northwestern offense, and it's a 1st and goal now for the Tigers. It's a gain of 10 yards on the play, and the 4th first down of this drive. Kraft with his 11th carry, 64 yards, and the Tigers looking to regain the lead right here.
I'll tell you, that was an impressive run by Pepper Kraft. He just high-stepped it right through there, and just basically gap blocking is all they're doing in front out there.
And Kraft is the deep back now. Here's Mackey handing off to Kraft. He is stopped short of the first down. And did he lose the football? He may have. Looks like he lost his footing as he was being hit. Cumberland has the ball. Kraft fumbles, and the Beavers come up with it at the 1-yard line.
That was a very good play on the inside. Everybody converged on that Pepper Kraft coming to the inside. Cumberland made a good play. Probably one guy stand him up. The other 2 guys tried to strip the ball away from him. They got it away.
It looked as if Kraft was trying to cut back to the inside and couldn't keep his footing. His left foot tried to plant it and cut on it. It slid a little bit. He lost his balance, was hit, and coughed up the ball. 1st and 10, Cumberland at their own 1-yard line. Masiska at quarterback. Masiska will go back to throw as he rolls out to his right. He evades a tackler in the end zone. He throws and it's knocked down on the play for Northwestern. John Grandrus in the backfield. Kelly Chakowski almost had Masiska for a safety, but Masiska showing real good sense back there in the sense that he can pick up those rushers without almost like a 6th sense.
Yeah,
and then he gets out of the way.
You got somebody breathing down your back coming from the backside. You'll have to have that 6th sense or you're going to get cream back there.
And that would have cost him 2 points. Reinberg goes wide left along with Anderson. Olson lines up tight end on the right side. 2nd down and 10 for Cumberland at their own 1-yard line. Here's Masiska rolling out to his left. He is sacked for a loss and a safety.
Ooh.
Masiska didn't fool anybody, and the Tigers take the lead 10-8.
It's one of the bad things you do when you try to roll out to the other side on a naked reverse. If you don't have the blockers out in front of you and the defense is coming hard and strong with a basically upfield rush on you, you're going to get caught in the end zone. That's what happened that time.
That was a bare naked reverse on that one.
I think
he didn't do anything.
Might have turned the opposite way. He should have went the other, I think. When you're that far down in that type of territory and you've got an 8-man front coming at you like that, you're better off just dropping back, and firing it up the middle, maybe hoping and praying you get somebody breaking open. He almost had the play down here in the play before. He just had it blocked away from him. But he had Jamie Anderson coming down the sideline. Just, if he'd have had it just a little bit over that defender's hand, he'd have had a big gainer out here.
Now Cumberland will have to yield the ball on a free kick from the 20. They can either punt it or kick it off the tee. And what are they going to do? They're going to use the tee. Or are they? No, they're going to punt it, and they're giving it to Chris Shirer. Shirer had one punt in the first half. It was a 36-yarder. Deep to receive the kick for Northwestern, Peterson and Schmidt. And he gets a beauty, a drill job. That's going to be taken by Schmidt at the 33. Schmidt up the middle of the 50. Schmidt straight up the middle, still going, and he's going to go. Schmidt is going to go all the way for the touchdown for Maple Northwestern. He just blew right through the Cumberland defense and was off to the races.
That's what you call a wedge block, Dave. And I tell you, they have a beautifully executed wedge block. Everybody just basically get to the center of the field. You wedge them out, open it up in the middle, and running back right through the center. And 9 times out of 10, you're going to get a big gain or a touchdown out of something like that.
That was a 67-yard return of the free kick for the touchdown. And that makes the score 16-8 in favor of Maple. So the Beavers now, if they can hold them out of here, then they would have yielded 8 points. And since Northwestern got the ball down to the 1-yard line anyway, they figured to come out of there with something anyway. So really, they're not too terribly bad off. Still, though, they had him stopped, and he would have preferred not to yield anything. Northwestern going for 2. The handoff in the middle for Kraft. He's in there for the conversion. So that makes the score Maple Northwestern 18 and Cumberland 8. 5:35 to go in the third period. Back in half a minute. This is high school football on WJMC.
Add the quality performance of a Schaefer barn cooler to your dairy operation from the Udder Place in Rice Lake. The Schaefer barn cooler is big, powerful, and energy efficient. And the barn cooler is the only patented air circulation fan on the market today. Ask the Udder Place about other name brand ventilation equipment available. Call 234-7194 or 1-800-657-5194. The Udder Place, your Schaefer dealer, just south of Rice Lake off Highway SS.
In a while.
Well, the Northwestern Tigers took the second half kickoff, drove to the Cumberland 1, fumbled the Beavers after an incomplete pass, yielded a safety, and then Northwestern returns the free kick for a touchdown, adds a 2-pointer, and Masiska takes the kickoff at the 18. Masiska up the middle, hit hard, still going, and down finally at about the 32-yard line of Cumberland.
I tell you, on that kamikaze squad, I tell you, you take your life into your own hands when you're playing on a kickoff team. But there's a few guys on this Northwestern team. They don't care. They go down there with reckless abandon. They're a wedge breaker when they go down through there. You got to have guys who've got guts to go down through there and break a wedge like that. And if you get guys that can sacrifice like that, you get guys right behind you are going to make an easy tackle.
31-yard line of Cumberland. Masiska play action to throw. Heavy pressure, looking for the short man for the screen. He had Reedy set up with some interference, but he couldn't hang on to the football. Heavy pressure that time by a couple of Cumberland defenders, Kelly Chukalski and Jim Burble.
But that's one thing Cumberland is going to have to do. They're going to have to play a little deceiving ball with them, make Maple think a little bit. They're going to have to stray a little bit away from that running game. I think that's going to be a little bit out of their reach right now. But they've got the tools, they've got the wideouts, the tall wideouts to do this type of thing.
Durbin and Rydberg wide left. Horseman slot left, now in motion to the right. Reeby all alone. Masiska throws to Reeby, makes the catch, cuts inside, evades one tackler, but not another. as he is finally hit and brought down at about the 35-yard line on the stop, Jason Matson for Northwestern, but that will bring up a 3rd down and 6 situation.
I tell you, I know that's a fairly good play when you're out here by yourself, but you know, he threw it into some fairly a lot of people in this territory over here. I don't know if that really is a very wise play to be calling on that side of the field.
Masiska now will look at a 3rd down and 6 situation. Play action rolling to his left. He throws across the left side. He's got Horseman. Horseman has a 1st down, and he's brought down at the 40. We have a flag thrown. It would be a 1st down, but it's going to be against Cumberland. The first penalty of the game on the Beavers.
I'll tell you, they had that Mr. Horseman on the outside out there. He's a deceptively strong and runner on the outside. They lead him out there on a screen pass. That's I think it's a perfect pattern and perfect play for that young guy to run. He runs it well. You know, when he breaks to the outside, he's got good speed and good hands the way it looks too when he gets the ball to him.
The line of scrimmage was the 35. We have ineligible receiver downfield against Cumberland, and that moves it back to the 30-yard line, where it will be 3rd down and 11.
I tell you, Cumberland has got some athletes on this team. I tell you, you can't count them out of this ball game. I tell you, they've got 3 good wideouts and a good running back that's got good speed, and Mike Masiska, he's got good speed coming out of that backfield also.
3rd and 11 now for the Beavers after the penalty. Here's the deep pitch. They're going to quick kick, but it's not a good kick. It's by Horseman, and it's going to go out of bounds at the Northwestern 45-yard line. Well, not a bad idea. The pitch from Masiska back to the deep back Horstman, and if he had gotten a good kick and a good roll, he could have really pinned the Tigers deep. But it gets to their 45-yard line and make it the 46-yard line, so it is a punt of only 24 yards. Call it 25. They put it down now on the 45.
I tell you, Cumberland has got to make a strong defensive stop this time. They can't let Maple take it down the field and run 4 minutes off the clock and score a touchdown on them. That'll basically put them right out of the ball game.
4:02 to play, 3rd period. Northwestern 18, Cumberland 8. Tigers 1st and 10. Peterson in motion, handoff to Kraft, wide open hole, cuts down the left sideline, and he might go, but he's knocked out of bounds by Masiska just barely at the Beaver 32-yard line.
I tell you, if he'd have made a hurdle move on him, he'd have been all the way down the end zone, because Mike went down to the ground trying to cut him at the knees, and he just about didn't get the job done on that time. He jumped over him, but caught his 1 foot, and that's the only thing that stopped him a little bit.
From their own 45, it's a gain of 23 yards for Kraft, who now has 87 yards.
I tell you, this is the 2nd week we've seen a running back that's over 215 pounds that can move.
Mr. Revenzer for Bloomer last week, and Kraft for Northwestern this week. 1st and 10, Tigers. In motion right, we got a flag as Schmidt goes into motion, and it looks like the Tigers will get the whistle. The double wing offense, like the wishbone, designed to chew up yardage, chew up clock, and prevent the opponents from getting too much on their own offensive side. Here's the pitch coming to the right to Peterson. Peterson gets a good block. Peterson cuts back up the middle. Peterson is going to be rolled down finally at the 30-yard line. Masiska was zeroing in on him in the backfield, but he was taken out of the action by a very nice Northwestern block.
I tell you, you can tell the difference this second half on Northwestern's blockers up front there. I tell you, they're going after people. They're attacking. They're not waiting for somebody to come after them. They're going to hit somebody, and they're going to hit somebody hard. Some real good blocks up front. Really impressive. I'm impressed with this line from Northwestern.
And it's a gain of 8 yards on the play for Peterson, who now has 39 yards on 8 carries. There's the handoff coming over here to Schmidt. Schmidt is wrapped up in the backfield for a loss. We got a flag thrown, and we may have a face mask call against Cumberland. The stop there by Eric Breshner. And it would have been no gain on the play.
Let's say you're going to give him another 15 yards by a face mask.
Well, if it's ruled intentional, but they're talking to the Beavers. Well, let's see here. They're talking to the defensive captain for Cumberland. And they're going to take the penalty.
I tell you, these Northwestern wants to run time off the clock, but they don't want to be running it off this way. They're going to stop the clock every time they get a penalty on them. So
that was Schmidt, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Holding is the call against Northwestern.
Ooh. Now that's not so bad. You get a holding call on you when you make 15 yards, but when you lose 5, that's a double kick in the pants right there.
So the penalty of 10 yards on the Tigers. It's their 4th flag for 23 yards. Their second on this possession. Mackey now play action to throw. Left-hander unloads deep for Hurley. He's got it. Touchdown, Northwestern.
Beautiful run pattern. I'll tell you, he hit him right in the numbers on stride. Beautiful pass. For a team that doesn't pass very often, and Mr. Mackey, I think he enjoys the opportunity every once in a while to air the ball out. 57-yard pass play is just unreal for a running team that people basically want to play for a running team. If they can sucker you inside on a running play and shoot it down the middle on a post pattern, you're gonna, they've got options that a lot of people don't think they have.
A 41-yard pass from Mackey to Hurley, who beat Masika on the play, and the Tigers now lead 24-8. Are going to go for 2, and we've got a whistle and a flag, and we will see whether we have encroachment or do we have delay of game. We have something against Northwestern, which will make it a little bit tougher for them to convert.
Offsides that time, Dave.
Offside. Lined up offside.
I tell you, Northwestern might be in control of this ball game, but when they get into a tighter ball game where they're behind or in a close ball game and they make mental mistakes like this, they can come back really to haunt you in the end of a ball game. Can cost you a ball game.
Now they're going to go for 2 again. Peterson almost drops the pitch, and he's going to be dragged down from behind, so the conversion attempt is no good. The stop made by Rick Chartraw, and the score remains Northwestern 24, Cumberland 8. Back in half a minute on WJMC.
Discover unheard-of closeout prices on every 1991 car or truck on the lot at Swamp Motor Company in Rice Lake. Hi, I'm Scott Colby, and here are just a couple examples of the savings you'll find. 1991 Eagle Talon TSI all-wheel drive, just $16,420. 1991 Eagle Summit 3-door, sale price with rebates at just $69.38. 1991 cars and trucks are all priced to sell now at Swamp Motor Company, your Jeep, Eagle, Pontiac, and GMC truck dealer on South Main, Rice Lake.
For Bruce, Siren, and all of Wisconsin's great Northwest, this is WJMC FM, Rice Lake, Cumberland.
Northwestern now leads 24-8. They have scored 16 points in the period. Cumberland yet to get on the board in the second half. To kick off for Northwestern, John Gronroos. Deep to receive for Cumberland, Horstman, and Masiska. Gronroos kicks it away from Masiska. Rydberg takes it at the 20 to the 25, goes for the right sideline, and he goes out of bounds at the 25-yard line. Make that the 35-yard line for Cumberland. And the Beavers will have it 1st and 10. They have, in fact, with 2:45 to go, we played a little more than 9 minutes of the period. They've had the ball only for 2 offensive plays in the whole quarter, and both from their own 1-yard line. The first was an incomplete pass. The second was a quarterback sack in the end zone for a safety. And so the Beavers now really getting their first real offensive opportunity here in the second half. Masiska will roll to his left, and he hands off inside to Horstman. Horstman has a few tough yards up to about the 38-yard line. On the stop for Northwestern, Jamie Duminson.
I tell you, Horstman, he's got he's making the yards he has to make to the inside, but he's getting much help from his linemen up front. They're not, making a good enough block for him to spring it into the secondary. But they're doing everything they possibly can out here. I don't know if they're going to be able to hold up against them, though.
We'll see. Anderson wide left, Rydberg to the right now on 2nd down and 7. Masiska throws quickly to Rydberg, who's got the catch, and he goes out of bounds at about the 47-yard line. He's got a 1st down.
I tell you, that type of offense for Cumberland is working well. The little outside short passes, they've got the big wideouts. You got the people like that. You play them, let them go after it.
And call it the 48-yard line. It's a gain of 10 yards on the play. Rydberg with his third catch. First down number 6 for Cumberland, their first of this half. 2:05 to go third quarter. Beavers trail at 24-8. Masiska, quick snap, goes up the middle. The Beavers smell it out, or the Tigers smell it out. Jason Matson makes the initial hit, and Masiska gains about 4 yards on the play, but that had the potential to really catch him flat-footed.
With 74, he kind of met Mike Masiska coming through the hole. Mike thought he had an open spot, and he just kind of basically met him head on and drilled him right into the ground.
Gain of 4 on the play, and that puts the Beavers into nice Northwestern territory at the Tiger 49. It's second down and 6. Masiska play action, cuts up the middle himself, breaks the tackle, still going, and he's got a first down at the Northwestern 41-yard line.
Good effort, Mike Masiska. You know, he's getting the tough yards on the inside. They're not watching him or giving him enough respect on the inside. He's going to, take as much advantage of that as you possibly can. They give you 8 yards, you might as well take it.
He got 8 yards. And first down number 7 for the Beavers. A minute 20 and counting, third quarter. Northwestern 24, Cumberland 8, but the Beavers driving. Anderson and Rydberg come to the short side of the field to the right. Olson, the tight end, on the left. Horstman and Reby behind Masiska. Northwestern showing a little bit of blitz. Now Anderson goes in motion left, long count. Masiska, play action, rolling to the left. He's going to keep it. No, he disdains the pitch, and he dropped the football. And we got a flag coming up, and that'll be against the Tigers, as Masiska was alertly fell back on the ball for no gain. But we may have a late hit call against Northwestern.
I tell you, you're trying to make a pitch when somebody's got you wrapped up. You're not going to be able to throw the ball very far. He was pretty well wrapped up, and Mike tried to
Reby was trailing.
The ball out. Yeah. He had him out there, but he just couldn't. The defender made a good play on the ball, wrapped him up, held his arm down, so he couldn't make a pitch. But
no gain on the rush, but a 15-yard penalty on the Tigers. 6 flags now. First down number 8. And isn't that the way it always was? We were just commenting at halftime how cleanly the first half had been played. Only 2 penalties on Northwestern, none on Cumberland. In the second half, we've had a total of, or third period, we've had a total of 5 penalties combined. First and 10, Beavers now at the Tiger 28. Masiska to throw. Pumps. Rolls out. He's going to unload deep for Rydberg. In the end zone, it is caught. Touchdown! Hey! He beat 2 defenders, and Rydberg scores. What a catch!
Oh, what a catch! He's 6 foot. 6'4", I believe Rydberg is. He's 6'1". But, I just made a comment before that they have the wide receivers that have got some height. The defensive backs for Maple Northwestern are kind of on the short side, and you can get somebody that can jump over you. You might as well take advantage of it and toss it up down there.
That time there was double coverage on Rydberg, and the ball was thrown a little bit short. Rydberg just came right in front of the defenders, took it right away from him. Cumberland going for 2 now. They've closed to within 24-14. Anderson in motion now to the left. Masiska cuts up the middle. Horstman has the 2-point conversion.
I'll tell you, they took that 2-point conversion, the same spot they took it in the first half, and he was untouched again. Same play.
We'll take a 30-second break and be back with more from Cumberland Moser Field. This is high school football on WJMC.
Subway makes my bread up fresh, and that's my way. My way. Subway makes my sub the best way. My way. Subway makes my sub in front of me. Just the way it ought to be. It's fresh, it's hot. I know I got it. My way. Subway. My way. Subway. Subway. My way.
Subway in the new Rosestone Plaza, Rice Lake.
Well, the Beavers have struck back and have pulled back to within 8 points, 24-16, with 39 seconds to go in the third period. They split the kick again, and Northwestern covers it up at the 39-yard line. And that time, that was Neil Anderson, a sophomore, who didn't even make an attempt to return that. Either that or he just fell down.
It looked like that yard marker kind of jumped up and tripped him when he fell. He just fell right to the ground. It's a very good move. You don't want your lineman carrying a ball like that.
Well, the Beavers getting right back into it. Trailing it now by 8 as Northwestern comes out. We're in the final minute of the third period, and Schmidt is sacked up for no gain.
A good defensive play. A touchdown in the first half kind of brought Cumberland back to life from the dead. I buried them here in the second half because I thought they were going to be gone. They come down, score a quick touchdown. Now they liven back up again, and they're ready to play.
That's the end of the third quarter with the score. Northwestern 24, Cumberland 16. This is high school football on WJMC.
Summertime favorites can be found at Kirkwood's IGA stores in Barron, Bloomer, Chautauqua, and Colfax. Like California Tasty Honeydew Melons for just 99 cents each. California Sweet Seedless Black Grapes, just 99 cents a pound. Locally grown McIntosh apples are only $1.99 for a 5-pound bag. New crop U.S. #1 Idaho russet potatoes, 99 cents for a 5-pound bag. Kirkwood's IGA stores in Barron, Bloomer, Chautauqua, and in Colfax.
At Cumberland Memorial Hospital, our medical specialists use their expertise to diagnose and treat patients with skill and caring. And with our state-of-the-art technology, we're fully equipped to meet even the most challenging health problem. So, from cardiology to orthopedics, urology to gynecology, we're here to meet your health care needs. If you'd like to see one of our specialists, call us today for an appointment. Cumberland Hospital, quality care from people who care.
Going into, or in the third quarter at Pug Lund Field in Rice Lake, the Rice Lake Warriors leading Phillips 15-3. I had heard that Phillips had a run and shoot offense. Well, they scored, I think, 6 points in their first game, and they got shut out in their second game, and they got 3 in the third game. They may be running. They're not shooting very much, I'll tell you that. Here is Northwestern, first play of the fourth quarter. They hand off, and up the middle. It's still going strong, and a fumble. Who's got it? The fumble at midfield, and it looks like Northwestern covers it up. Yes, they do.
I tell you, Pepper Kraft, I'm thinking of the New York Giants here. Pepper Kraft, he was out there, he was digging and clawing for all he could get a little bit careless of the ball. He popped it loose, and just happened to get lucky, and Northwestern player jumped on the ball.
Kraft gains the first down and gains 11 yards on the play. It has 98 yards rushing in the game, and we've got a whistle and some movement and a flag, and it looks like the Tigers will get flagged again. That was their 12th first down of the game. And now we've got failure to wear required equipment call on Northwestern.
I tell you, when they don't have that mouth guard in, it's for their own protection. If you don't put it in, you want to go around the rest of your life with half your teeth in your mouth. And that's precaution on their own part. You got to have that in.
Boy, the officials are sharp about watching that too. It's now 1st and 15, Northwestern at their own 45. Here's the man in motion, Schmidt. The handoff to Kraft up the middle. He gets past the line. He gets back to the midfield stripe and maybe a little bit inside Cumberland territory before he's brought down. Well, no doubt the Beavers very much heartened by that score. And after falling behind by 16 points, they came back strong.
Come back strong, and they're fired up, and they're ready to play. And I think they can hardly wait. I got a feeling they're going to have an offensive show for them when they come out here the second time, because I got a feeling they're going to air the ball out knowing that they can score points that way.
Kraft gains 5. He has 15 carries, 103 yards, 10:50 and counting in the game. Here's the handoff to a new man in there who breaks a tackle, still going, and cutting up and down is Pat Trott, a junior. Trott carrying for the first time.
I tell you, Cumberland is playing that bend, but don't break the defense. They just, they don't. The blockers are going through there, making a hit on them, but not sustaining a block on their defenders. And Cumberland is just playing off the blocks and making good tackles. That's just basically what they're doing. They're playing real fine.
Now Northwestern faces a big 3rd down and 7 play from the Cumberland 47-yard line. Mackey brings them out. Here's the handoff up the middle of Kraft. Kraft looking for the first down marker, and he's got it, and he's still going strong to the 37-yard line of the Beavers. A big first down run there by Pepper Kraft of Northwestern.
He does not want to be denied. When he gets the ball in his hands, he's just like a bulldog when he gets a hold of that thing. He just wants to, he's got the first down markers in his eyes, and he wants to either get a first down or a touchdown. He's not going to stop till he gets either one.
In this case, he gets 10 yards. And Northwestern's first down, number 13. And there's the handoff to Kraft, this time going to the left, and Kraft gets down to the 30, maybe the 29-yard line.
I'll tell you, he's a real, what you call the stud running back there. He's a hard running back that's hard to bring down with just an arm tackle, and you got to put a hat on him if you want to get him down.
They'll spot the ball at the 30, and it will be a gain of 7 for Kraft. He has 120 yards now on 17 carries. Averaging better than 10 yards a pop, not too shabby.
And that size,
almost 10, I should say.
And that size, he's going to have a lot of colleges looking at him, too.
There's the handoff to Kraft in the middle. Kraft is hit at the line and struggles forward.
Yeah, you have to see the man be stopped behind the line for no gain. He's when he gets a hold of that ball, he's going forward. It takes a lot to knock him backwards.
This will bring up a 3rd down and about a yard now for Northwestern. Kraft getting back to the huddle a little bit slowly that time. 3rd and 1 for the Tigers from the Cumberland 29-yard line. A yard and a half or so to go for the first down. Herlevy comes to the right. Trott is in there now at a running back. And here comes Schmidt in motion, and Schmidt takes the handoff. He is hit at the line, but he springs forward and has the first down inside the 25 to about the 24-yard line.
I tell you, they've got given him a rest in the backfield there, Pepper. But they come with Schmidt to the outside. They can come with Pepper to the outside. You've got horses in the backfield. They can run right at you.
8:24 to go in the game. 24-16 Northwestern. The Beavers need a stop on this series. Northwestern has not displayed any sort of a penchant for place kicking, so if you can stop them without a touchdown here, get the ball back, chance to tie the game, maybe force an overtime. Trout in motion. Here's Mackey back to throw. Mackey looking to his left. Mackey unloads deep. He's looking for Kraft. It is incomplete. Is it intercepted? No, almost picked off by Rydberg of the Beavers.
I tell you, he had a wide open receiver breaking down toward the middle. He took the ladder, tried to lay it over his shoulder. That's a hard pass anyway. And then he had the guy coming across the other way, but he was rolling the opposite way again. It's hard to, very seldom you can see guys throw it across the grain against the, backwards against where he's running. But the pass was there, but just a little bit overthrown.
24-16, Northwestern with 7:56 to go in the game. And a 2nd down and 10 now for the Tigers. The handoff goes to Kraft. Kraft inside the 20 to about the 18.
I'll tell you, you got to keep if you want to keep a defense on their toes, especially if you want to get your running game going a little bit, air it out a little bit. See if you can draw them back off the line. If they're playing their linebackers up tight and their quarterbacks are cheating on you a little bit, it doesn't hurt to, even if you don't complete the pass the first time down. If you air it out and loosen them up a little bit, you get your running game to work again.
Gain of 5, 3rd and 5 for the Tigers at the Cumberland 19-yard line. 7:24 and counting. The handoff inside again to Kraft. He goes to the right after trying the middle of the line, and Kraft is finally double tackled down at the 14 or so. He'll be close to a first down. Chad Lanson on the stop for Cumberland. That time they tried to send him into the line, and he couldn't get in anything there and spun to the right side.
I'll tell you, he's a load to bring down. You get two guys that are basically riding his back all the way to the outside, and they took another guy just to trip him up to get him down.
Gain of 4. 4th and a yard now for the Tigers at the Cumberland 15-yard line. A very big play right here. And they're going to go for the first down. Here's Mackey. Hands off to the man, Kraft, who has the first down to the 6-yard line.
He's like your typical, big offensive back. He'll take his sweet time getting back to the huddle. Looks like he's dead tired.
He probably is.
But when you give him the ball and he sets up and the quarterback says, ready, set, boy, he's ready to go, and they hand him that ball and he's out of there just like somebody shot out of a gun.
That's a gain of 9 yards on the play.
Really deceptive.
Gain of, the ball is at the 6, and Northwestern knocking on the door for what they hope would be the clinching touchdown. Herlevy to the right now. Kraft set back behind Mackey. In motion left to Schmidt. He takes the ball. He's rolling to his left. He breaks a tackle, but he's going to be stopped and gets down to about the 3-yard line. Initial hit by Dave Olson in the backfield slowed him up. Otherwise, he would have had cruising into the end zone.
Yeah, because Pepper Kraft laid him on a good lead block out in front. The guy looks like he's dead tired, but he still had enough speed to get out in front of him and make a good block.
Gain of 3 to the 3. Schmidt has 52 yards. We still don't see Peterson back in the game. Jesse Peterson, he may have been shaken up. Trout is in there. It's 2nd and goal from the 3. There's the hand up to Kraft. He dives. He's in there. Touchdown, Tigers.
You know, it's about payback time for Pepper Kraft. He did most of the work on that offensive series. He carried the ball quite a few times. I think he had the brunt of the yardage that time. At least you can do is let him run in for the touchdown, get his 6 points.
It comes with 5:48 to go in the game and gives Northwestern a 30-16 lead. And Kraft, with his 2nd touchdown, he had the game's first score back in the first period on a 1-yard run. And Northwestern again going for 2. Big play right here, and that is going to be Schmidt in there for the 2-point conversion. Cuts inside easily going around the right end. And the score now is Northwestern 32, Cumberland 16. We'll take a minute break and be back after this on WJMC.
Northwestern State Bank in Cumberland would like to extend a cordial invitation for you to use their many services. Take advantage of the checking and savings accounts, loan plans, safe deposit boxes, and many other services that they offer. Stop in at your convenience. Remember, they're more than bankers. They're your neighbors and your friends. Northwestern State Bank, offices in Cumberland and Alameda, is the answer to all your banking needs. Member FDIC.
Schneider Pharmacy in downtown Cumberland is now double the store it used to be. Completely remodeled, Schneider Pharmacy is now able to offer a bigger and better selection of everything. Cosmetics, perfumes, gifts, books, cards, candy, just about everything that you need, you can find at the newly remodeled Schneider Pharmacy. Stop in and enjoy an old-fashioned soda at their fountain. Get your prescription needs filled, film processing, and hospital equipment rental. Schneider Pharmacy in downtown Cumberland.
Reeby returns the relatively short Northwestern kick to the 29-yard line of Cumberland, where it will be 1st and 10 Beavers. Clock rolling, 5:40 to go in the game, and a 16-point Northwestern lead. They chewed an awful lot of clock on that last drive. Let's see what Masiska wants to do. Northwestern calls time.
They obviously see a different formation that they were not used to. Either that or it was in a wrong defensive formation. It was hard to tell. They're playing back a little bit. Going with a real weak 4-man, 3-backer front to the Cumberland Beavers. If Cumberland does want to pass, they're going to be able to take them to the outside. They've had good success so far doing it that way.
Next week, on Friday night, we will be in Spooner for the Heart of the North showdown between the Spooner Rails and the Barron Golden Bears. Spooner is playing tonight in their Heart of the North opener. The Rails are playing at Ladysmith. The Barron Bears still playing outside the conference, hosting Cadott this evening, so it'll be Barron's conference opener. And with Barron having to go up to Maple to play Northwestern later on in the season, and also, of course, a meeting with Hayward, the Bears really facing a must-win situation next Friday, and Spooner cannot afford to lose a game at home.
No, that's, especially when they got Northwestern's got 6 home games this year, it's really going to make it tough for anybody else to pull something out of their hat.
5:29 to go in the game. 1st and 10 Cumberland at their own 29. And here is an inside reverse as they go to Horstman, and Horstman is not going to get much of anything.
I know when you're down this many points, and the passing game has worked well for you. You should go back to the passing game, even though they are playing back on you a little bit. The outside patterns have been there, and they've been there most of the night for Cumberland.
Gain of a yard for Horstman. It's 2nd and 9 for the Beavers at their own 30. Masiska back to throw. Play action across the middle. Incomplete. Anderson had it and dropped the ball. He had 3 men on him, but he would have had maybe a first down on the play.
He was trying to run with the ball before it got there. He had 2 defenders coming after him, and he wanted to make the play, and he turned around and left the.
he threw his gloves off.
Threw his gloves off. So lousy gloves. Couldn't hold on to the ball that time. I never could see play with gloves on. I always figured bare skin is a lot better to you can feel the ball a lot better. But you hear a lot of different players using gloves all the time.
Well, you see Jerry Rice doing it. They all got to do it. Here's Masiska back to throw. Masiska looks for the short man. Horstman is nailed. downfield after he catches the pass at the 24-yard line. Kelly Chakowski, who's been camping in the Cumberland backfield all night long, makes that play.
I tell you, that's a rude awakening for a running back. I'll tell you, when you get the ball put right in your breadbasket, you turn around, think you're going to go somewhere, and somebody just buries you right where you're standing. That's really hard one. It's very better. You can hit that way than seeing somebody coming at you like that.
4th down, and the Beavers punting the ball away. A fair catch is signaled for at the 45, and he had a lot of room to run. Hurley on the punt there by Chris Shirer. And it will be 1st and 10 Northwestern, and now they have an opportunity to run the clock out. If I had been Cumberland, I might have been inclined to go for that one. I mean, he had not much to lose, really.
Yeah, you're down 16 points anyway. That late in the fourth quarter, you might as well gamble for it. You're not going to lose anything.
Only a 25-yard punt for Shirer. And here are the Tigers now. Here is Schmidt carrying. He's upended by Masiska for maybe a loss of a yard on the play.
Mike Masiska's not a very big guy to make tackles on these big offensive backs coming out of the backfield, but he's yet to miss a tackle on a guy coming his way tonight. You know, he's been a savior on his own side coming back.
Schmidt's 13th carry, and he has 51 yards as he loses a yard. The ball is at the Northwestern 45. 3:50 and counting in the game. 32-16 Tigers. Here's Mackey. Mackey handing off. Here comes Kraft again. Kraft a big hole. Kraft still going. Kraft still going. He's down to the 30-yard line of Cumberland.
I tell you, they just let him break that first string of defenders, and he just blows right by everybody, and he's got people dragging behind him, trying to get him down. You know, when you're that big, 215 pounds, and can move as fast as he can move. You know, he's going to be a hard man to bring down if you're trying to face him up, but, you know, when you're trying to catch a guy that big from behind, it's almost impossible to bring him down.
It looked like he'd gotten his second win, Ed.
Yeah.
Gain of 25 yards on the play. First down, number 16, and now the Tigers in a great shape to run the clock out and go back up north with the win. There is Schmidt coming. Schmidt dragged down by Reeby from behind, and coming up to help out on the play, Masiska, Rydberg, and Eric Greshner. And Schmidt gets a yard on the play.
I'll tell you, you see big running backs like that. You know, a few years back, you see Earl Campbell at the fourth quarter. He'd be huffing and puffing so bad he could hardly make it back to the huddle. But then they'd hand the ball off to him, and he could rip off a 50-yard run. Nobody could catch him. So,
Hall of Famer. Yes,
it's just like, Pepper out here. You give him the ball back there, he walks back to the huddle like he's dead. And then he gets up there and they hand him the ball, and he just shoots out of it like a rocket.
2nd and 9 for Northwestern. At the 29 of Cumberland, here comes Kraft rolling to the left. He's still going. He cuts back. He breaks a tackle. He breaks 2 tackles. He keeps on going, and he gets down to about the 14-yard line.
Arm tackles again.
You're not going to bring that guy down.
No, he's too big. He's too big, and he's too fast to be bringing down with just an arm tackle. He's got to put a hat on him to get him down.
From the 29, he gets to the 14, a 15-yard pickup. First down, number 17 for the Tigers.
I tell you, we've seen, the 2 big running backs in the last 2 weeks. I tell you, I've been really impressed with running backs so far this year. The size of them, being well over 200 pounds and the way he can move, it just amazes me.
2:15 and counting. Beavers just looking to prevent another score. A fumble. Mackey fumbles the snap but covers it up at the line of scrimmage.
One good thing, though, he didn't stop the clock. He kept the clock rolling, so he didn't lose anything off the deal.
2 minutes to go and counting. Double duty for us next week. Our game of the week in Spooner Friday night for the Barron Spooner Heart of the North game, and then in Cameron on Saturday afternoon, the 21st, for the Comets and the New Auburn Trojans in a small Lakeland game. Large Lakeland game, correction. It's now 2nd and 11. They say that Mackey lost a yard. Back to the 15-yard line. We have a minute and a half and counting. Hand off to Kraft. Kraft plows his way down to the 10.
The more they hand the ball to this young man, the more impressed I am with him. He just he doesn't quit. He doesn't give up. And if he's got a few yards he wants to tack on there, he's going to get as many as he possibly can get.
I've got him for 188 yards on 25 carries. He has 2 touchdowns already. a lineman going out of the game. That's Jason Matson. 59 seconds and counting. Tigers taking their time. Trout in the backfield now. Kraft. And in the left wing position, that is Schmidt. Mackey brings him up. Kraft in motion left. Here's the pitch over to Trout, looking for a block. Trout cuts back inside. Trout is going to be stopped inbounds. Clock will stay on. And he got about 5 yards on the play.
I really don't think Northwestern really wants to score again. They just want to run the clock out. They could probably care less if they get another touchdown. You know, they're far enough ahead of them that they're not going to, you know, win the ball game on them. But, you know, they just want to hold on to the ball, just to basically run the clock out.
That's a gain of 5 yards on the play. And a gain of 3 yards on the play, actually. And 10 seconds to go in the game, and Northwestern may not even have to snap the football. But if they do, let's see what they're going to do with it. Mackey just goes down on one knee, and that's going to be the game. The final score, Northwestern 32, Cumberland 16. Back in a minute to wrap things up. This is high school football on WJMC.
The family physicians and staff at the Cumberland and Turtle Lake Medical Clinics offer you professional, quality health care when you need it. Total family health care, infants through adults. Put your family's health care and trust with the physicians and staff at the clinics. All physicians are board certified and offer small town health care with all the services and equipment of big town health care. The Cumberland and Turtle Lake Medical Clinics, professional quality health care.
Before you decide on a financial institution, stop in and check out the newest financial institution in Cumberland, the Island City branch of the Bank of Turtle Lake. The friendly folks at the Island City branch of the Bank of Turtle Lake services all of your banking needs with the kindness and courtesy that you'd expect. And for folks who might have worked late on Friday, the lobby at the Island City branch of the Bank of Turtle Lake is open on Saturdays from 9 a.m. to noon for your convenience. Good luck to the Cumberland Beavers football team this season from the Island City branch of the Bank of Turtle Lake.
And we are back now at Moser Field in Cumberland. Dave Tyndall and Bob Lee. Quick wrap up here before we head to County Stadium for Brewer baseball. I think the key play in the game, Bob, was the safety that Cumberland suffered in the third period. Northwestern had taken the second half kickoff, driven all the way to the Beaver 1, then fumbled the ball away. And Cumberland had a chance. The game was tied at 8 apiece at the time. The Beavers had a chance to, of course, stay right in the football game and maybe get something going themselves. But after an incomplete pass, Masiska tackled in the end zone for the safety. And then on the ensuing free kick, Schmidt went 67 yards for the touchdown. And they tacked on a two-point conversion. All of a sudden, instead of being tied 8-8 with the ball, you're down 18-8.
That was a big turnaround right there. You know, Cumberland was playing, played super tough on them. You know, coming out the first half, they played real good. Second half, they started off real well. But, you know, when you get down that far, you're back to your own end zone. You know, especially with the defense that Northwestern come out throwing at them. They come out with an 8-man front and just sending everybody but the class president after them. But, you know, just I believe if they'd have just went back and just fired it upfield and played to the outside like they tried the first time, you know, that play was wide open. The only thing that held them up was that guy tipped the ball just that little bit. I think if they'd have, you know, come back and you know, tried that same pattern again, they probably would have, you know, got themselves out of where they were. They were backed up to the end zone, and they had a bad place to start off.
Quickly, the statistics for Maple Northwestern: Pepper Kraft, 25 carries, 188 yards, and 2 touchdowns. And he also had a 2-point conversion thrown in there. Schmidt had 14 carries for 52 yards. Peterson, 8 for 39. Hurlevy, 1 for 10. Trott, 2 for 6. Mackey, 3 for no gain. Total of 295 yards rushing for Maple. Mackey completed 3 of 7 passes for 57 yards and 1 touchdown. That was a 41-yarder to Hurlevy. Peterson caught 1 for 3, and Kraft 1 for 13. So Kraft had over 200 yards in offense tonight, not too shabby. 352 yards in offense for Maple Northwestern. They got 244 of those in the second half. For Cumberland, Horstman, 9 carries for 35 yards. Masiska, 11 carries for 22. Reeby, 2 for -3. 54 yards rushing for Cumberland. Masiska had 8 completions out of 13 tries for 78 yards. Rydberg 1 of 1 for 24 in the touchdown. And in receiving, Rydberg 4 for 56, Horseman 1 for -5, Reeby 2 for 18, Anderson 1 for 24, Olson 1 for 9. 156 yards in offense for Cumberland. In the second half, Northwestern outgained Cumberland 244 yards to 52. The Beavers just never recovered from yielding that long drive in the opening series of the third quarter, and then the safety and the ensuing touchdown and 2-point conversion. Penalties, Northwestern 7 for 48. Cumberland only 1 flag tonight for 5 yards. And the scoring, briefly, Kraft a 1-yard run to close out a long drive in the first period for the Tigers at 3:08. Schmidt a run for 2 to make it 8-0. But Cumberland struck back with 5:19 to go in the second quarter. Rydberg throwing a 24-yard bomb to Anderson for the score. Horstman tied it with a 2-point run. Halftime, we're tied at 8. Then came the key series of the game. Northwestern driving after the second half kickoff down to the 1, fumbling it away. Cumberland recovering. Then after Masiska's pass was batted down on second down, he rolled to his left, was sacked in the end zone for a safety. And on the free kick, Schmidt took it and went 67 yards for a touchdown, and Kraft's 2-point conversion made it 18-8 in favor of Northwestern. The Tigers then got the ball back after a quick kick by Cumberland, and Mackey threw 41 yards to Hurlevy, who just beat Masiska. They ran for 2, and they didn't make it after a penalty, 24-8. But Cumberland struck right back with 39 seconds to go in the third quarter, and Masiska passed 28 yards to Rydberg, and Horstman ran in for 2. So at the end of 3, Cumberland only down 8 points, 24-16. But then the Tigers just grounded up and scored the clincher with 5:48 to go in the game on a 3-yard run by Kraft. Schmidt's 2-point conversion, 32-16. And that was about all she wrote.
That's about all she wrote for Cumberland for the night. They can't go out of here with their heads hanging low. They played a real good game against Northwestern. Northwestern, comes in here with 55 guys, and Cumberland dresses 25. But there's nothing to be sorry about. Cumberland played a real good game. They played well. They can't. They just basically got beat up the second half because Northwestern's got the big guns out in front, and they just basically wore them down.
Well, Brewer baseball to follow as the Brewers take on the Tigers. Big sports weekend tomorrow afternoon on WJMC AM. It's the Badgers opening their season against Western Illinois. I think our airtime 12:30. Tomorrow night on JMC FM at 6:52, Game 3 of the Brewer-Tiger series. Sunday afternoon, Packer football from Green Bay on WJMC AM. The Packers and Tampa Bay Buccaneers, airtime 11 o'clock. And Sunday afternoon on WJMC FM 96.3, it's the Brewers and the Tigers again at 1:22. Our next football broadcast here will be next Friday night from Spooner as the Rails take on the Barron Golden Bears in a Heart of the North showdown. Bob and I will be on the air from Spooner at 7:15. Then on Saturday afternoon next week, the 21st, we are in Cameron for the large Lakeland Conference game between the Cameron Comets and the New Auburn Trojans. We'll be back here in Cumberland 2 weeks from tonight on the 27th as the Beavers entertain Spooner. And later on in the season in October, we'll be here again for the Barron-Cumberland game. So the Beavers have got to hang in there. 3 tough losses. And next week, taking a look at what they've got coming up, the Northwestern Tigers will be at home against the Hayward Hurricanes. That'll be a big game. And Cumberland will be in Hammond against the Panthers of St. Croix Central. So we want to thank Mark Fuller and his staff for their hospitality tonight, Athletic Director Roger Wistersill, and all of the folks here in Cumberland. And hang in there, gang. The Beavers, I think, are going to win a couple of games this year.
They're going to win a couple
Yes,
games.
sir.
They're a tough team to play.
And I want to thank Bob Lee again for his color commentary this evening, and Dave Masick for a fine job back at the studio. Our final score again, Maple Northwestern 32, Cumberland 16. From Moserfield and Cumberland, I'm Dave Tyndall. So long for WJMC FM.